That can
I
have
saw.
seen how to tweet
I
while I
just
was
saw that when I just sent out my live tweet. And I was like, "Hang on a minute, you're not live," but we are right now.
I deleted it.
What's up, chat? We are live. We're here finally. I think everybody's here. JJ's there. Look, we're all here. Um, welcome on everybody. This is I think we're up to episode 15 or 16. God, I can never keep up. 16, I think it is tonight. And I forgot to do a recap from the last session because it was that long ago. So my last recap was from session 14, but I'm pretty sure I can recap what happened in the last session. So last time we were here, our heroes, our Owlin, our Herringon, and our Furbolg, along with Grimshaw the Minotaur, were making their way through the Waybecker Cavern. They had dealt with another group of undead things and some mosquito-like beings previously, and made their way through a fungal cavern. Some bright green fungus spread across the floor, some large mushrooms and puffballs. Unfortunately, I can't remember exactly who stood on the puffball, but someone made a misfooting and had to make a save. It might have been Mr. Who over there. So Who managed to explode one of these puffballs, sending a puff of gas into the air. But from memory, made the save on the exposure, so you didn't fare too badly moving forward. From there, you moved into another cavern, which seemed to sparkle like starlight. If I move my map up here, we can show the chat where you went. You were in this room here, the old fungus room. You moved through to this next room, which was full of bodies, collapsed stone, and it looked like the ceiling was glimmering with stars, with the minerals and ore that were sparkling in the ceilings. From there, you moved into another area where you had a discussion with a eye beast of some description, a floating head with many eyes. It deemed itself the protector of the ley lines and of this mine. And with your discussion, you managed to convince it that you were here with good intentions with the owners of the mine, and you had every intention on clearing out the transgressors, which according to this creature, was a powerful sorcerer or wizard. From there, you move forward with Grimshaw taking the lead, hearing the ocean waves crashing from within the cavern, leading you to an area where you indeed found water, indeed salt water at that, and it does. This whole area has the sound of the ocean, although it's deep below ground and quite a substantial distance from any shoreline. You then move forward, moving down a slope, heading downwards into almost like a culvert type situation, which is pretty much where we pick up. As you guys continue moving forward, the light cast on Arcos's belt, shedding a bright light as you move down this darkened cavern. So I'll turn back over to you guys now. We'll just unpause that over there so we can get some stuff happening there. So yeah, so you're moving forward. The slope you're going down, it's got patches of what would have been water once upon a time. It's dried up long ago, and it's just patches of salt where salt water would have pooled the last time this would have filled with water. And where the salt water had pooled, it's just now dry patches of crusted salt. But the slope is probably about 20 degrees. It's a gentle slope, but it's enough that if the water was to rise behind you, it would dump down the chute and into the little the space you see before you, which is dark. You can as you bend, you're going to have to sort of crouch and get through it. Although Arcos could probably walk through, probably brush the top of his ears as he walks through this little tunnel. The rest of you, however, would have to duck, pass through it. So I'll turn over to you if you wish to have a wee discussion before moving forward, because I think last time we sort of left off, you were heading in this general direction with the intention of moving down through this tunnel.
Well,
Oh, this way?
I mean,
I'd rather start
Really?
here with the water, to be fair.
yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of this place, to be honest with you. How long does it take to bury a dwarf? Was he burying him? I thought Gundren was going to catch up.
Is that this moment, Arcos? Who was given the stone? It was you, wasn't it?
Okay.
From where did you put it?
Oh, in his pocket.
So it's in his pocket. So in your pocket, you feel a warming sensation, and no, you didn't wet yourself. You understand how this works, and it sort of vibrates a little, not unlike a cell phone. It vibrates in your pocket, and you reach into your pocket and you pull it out, and the voice of Gundren, Rockseeker, can be heard. Not loud, but loud as you bring it up closer to your ear. You can hear his words. Hey, alright, I finished what I'm doing. I won't be long. If you just let us know roughly where you are, I have a map here. I can probably find you. I think I found some of your handiwork.
Yeah, we. Can I talk to this thing?
You can reply. You can reply back to it. Yeah, you can talk back into it, and it should send the message back.
On the map, if there's like a body of water, we're right there, and we talk to this really creepy, big-eyed thing that probably wants to have a word with you about freedom and indentured servitude, and yeah.
You wait a few moments, and then you get a message back. Are you alright? It's going to take me a wee while to get here. I'm only about, or I'm about halfway through. I can take a shortcut around the other side. I think my brothers are being held in the what would be an old chapel west of where you are right now. You keep heading west, you should get there.
Okay.
And you place the stone back in your pocket. So, I mean, how you determine which way is west is up to you. I mean, as a sailor, I think you've got as a sailor, you'd have a pretty good bearing of direction, even underground. Even though you don't have stars to guide you or anything, I think you'd have a pretty good understanding of general direction, I think.
Why the fuck is there a chapel down here? Fucking dwarves.
I mean, dwarves have religion, don't they? I mean, don't they have it like a dwarf god?
Yeah, but surely they could go back up the top for like that sort of shit.
Dwarves live underground. I mean, everything's underground. They shit underground. They eat underground. I mean, surely they worship underground too. Isn't that right, Mr. Who? You probably worship in the sky because you got wings and stuff. So when you fly around, right? No? Oh.
No.
Well, bugger me. I'm fucking... Oh, thought I learned something. But no.
It'd be pretty cool, but you kind of agreed that it would be cool. That little short fella, it's going to take him a while to get here. And those little short legs, so I don't think he said it's going to take him a little while to get here. I think it's going to be longer than what he thinks.
We head west then, right?
Well,
We're still going to be way ahead of him.
well, you never know. I mean, dwarves have their wily ways.
Especially when it has to do with money.
I wonder if they walk faster when they're underground.
I don't think it works that way.
Doesn't work that way? Okay.
I mean, I walk faster when I'm drunk. Actually, no, I don't. I walk slower.
No, you just fall off fucking boats.
I was pushed. I how many times I got to tell you? I was pushed off the boat. And it was a ship, not a
Yeah.
boat, by the way.
Yeah, pushed by your inability to be a good sailor. Right, west it is.
So where's west?
We got it.
Well, I think we're
way.
going the right way. I mean, the water was in the north of the cabin. And if we're going this way, this is kind of west-ish.
Yeah, northeast. He means.
Yeah.
North.
I told you I was a navigator.
Mm. Well, it's hard to see and it's very narrow. I'll go have a look and see what we're in for. Just stay here and try and behave yourselves.
Right.
No.
Don't get lost.
Too late.
He's not wrong.
You should be able to move. I think we're all unpaused. You wish to
So I'll
continue forward.
try to do so quietly, even though I'm lit up like a fucking Christmas tree.
I mean, yeah, we can still do a stealth roll. Get a bit of the old first roll of the evening. A natural 20 on the stealth. This doesn't make you invisible, contrary to popular demand, but for all intents and purposes, you step forward and you make no sound as your feet touch the ground. And you are, like, even Grimshaw sort of tilts his head to one side, raises an eyebrow, as if to say, huh, didn't hear him go through there at all. So as you move through, I mean, obviously you'll see this, the others will not. What you see from where you are, directly in front of you there, you see, is that going to let me ping? Hang on, I'll be on this one. There we go. What you see there is a large water wheel. You're also in quite a deep recession, probably 8 or 10 feet deep to the top. It's man-made. It's kind of rough-hewn, but it's man-made. You've got an understanding of water wheels and forges. You've been around long enough, and sort of you can't see over the edge from where you are, but you get the impression just by as you move, sort of peer to one side, you can see that what looks like an old forge sort of peeking above the edge of this recess. Long, cold, and dead, covered in cobwebs. The water wheel itself looks like it hasn't moved in decades. You do get what you do get from this direction, however, is you see the bodies. Well, you wouldn't really see them. You'd have to peer up above, but you get the glow of a sort of greenish flame, almost a flickering in the distance. It gets slowly closer to where you are, and then sort of moves away. You can't exactly see what it is, but you know there's something moving in this area. But I'll leave it up to you whether you head back or you call your companions through.
Is it just the one thing I can sort of see the movement of from the light? Or...
Yeah, it would be just the one, because how tall are you? You're like
3 something.
Like, yes, you're quite short,
Yeah.
so you'd have to sort of step back across the other side of the recession. It's like a 10-foot wide gap, so you'd have to sort of put your back against the opposite side, and you can see the glow of this sort of green glow of a flame or some flickering light sort of moving backwards and forwards just over the top of the lip of this this trench. You probably wouldn't be able to see the bodies that you can see right there at this point.
Yeah.
You'd have to sort of climb up, try and peer over to sort of get a better look, but you can definitely see the glow of a light sort of moving backwards and forwards. Even with you lit up like a Christmas tree, this light doesn't seem to be approaching. You can just sort of, what would be catching the really outer edge of it, so it probably seems like it's a fair distance away from where you're at, rather than sort of right on top of you. Because realistically, what we're seeing on the chat here, guys, just for you in chat too, Arcos's light wouldn't be projecting as far as what it is right now because of how deep this recession is. This light would probably only just sort of peek out of the top of the recession, and it would light up the top of it. So it would definitely be a beacon to anything that's sort of looking in that direction, but the rest of this area here would generally not be lit up. Just for reference for those in the chat.
Alright, how steep is the wall? Like, is it something that I could
It'd be
scramble
climbable.
up?
Yeah, it'd be climbable. It's rough hewn, like it's not smooth rock or anything like that. So it's a rough hewn trench. So there's definitely handholds and footholds. You'd be able to climb the side of it to get a better look easily enough.
Alright, so I am going to do that because he'll stop for a bit, think about getting the others, remember how noisy the two bigger gentlemen can be, and decide that he probably should know what they're in for just in case they fuck it up.
Okay, so no need for a strength or a dexterity. You're definitely dexterous enough to climb this area. Like I said, it's rough hewn rock. It's definitely footholds, handholds, and you're able to move your way with the light that you currently have pressed. It's on your belt buckle, so with it pressed against the exterior wall that you're climbing, it will be diminished in its spill of light. So what spill we're getting on screen here on the map would definitely not be taking place. It'd be hard pressed against there, so you'll be in almost darkness as you sort of peer up and sort of peer over the edge. And what you do see is the source of this light. And as you watch, it slowly floats in this direction to about here. You do see a body lying here, another body lying here. The forge in all its glory, or what once would have been in all its glory. A massive dwarven made structure. And when I say massive, even for you, it's huge. Like you could imagine probably a half a dozen dwarves probably working this forge in unison. The bellows covered in cobwebs and no longer moving. The fire cold and dead. Things like that. You can see the old right on the edge of this light from this creature, whatever it is, and it just seems to be a small skull engulfed in a green flame. No bigger than a human skull. We see the odd mining cart and a few bits of ore and stuff sort of around the edges of this area. You would have caught the edge of this corridor and the edge of this corridor as it passed. But apart from that, anything else sort of outside of that area you really can't really see. So beyond the forge, out in this area here, you wouldn't be able to see any of this. It'll be in darkness.
Yep.
And I would say you probably have no idea what this floating skull is. You would have never crossed one before in your part. Even with your worldly travels, you probably would never have seen one.
You'd be very happy to have not crossed the path of something like that before, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
So I could just imagine like the ears up and his eyes are just over the top, and then he just sort of like slowly slides down, and I'll go back to the others.
And with that stealth roll, you're pretty safe. So you head back through to the others, and Grimshaw sort of, again, you go, oh shit. Man, you're quiet. I didn't even hear you come back.
Yeah, it's just as well. So there's a floating head.
A what?
A floating. Actually, it's more of a skull, like an inanimate, like a disembodied. It's a fucking glowing skull. I don't think it's a good thing.
I've never seen a floating skull before.
I mean, considering what we saw in the other room, like, fuck me.
There's all sorts of shit in here.
No, thanks, not my type.
Do you know anything about floating skulls? I mean, you're a cleric, right? You know about undead things.
Yes, would I?
Let's see if who would. Let's get we'll tee up a religion roll.
It's the valid question. Would I?
Would you now? Let's roll the religious roll in the chat and figure out
religion
whether you
roll.
did. 16. It's pretty good. you think for a moment. You rack your memory banks. You think, now what have I read? You've read about zombies. You've read about ghouls. You've read about skeletons, undead things of that nature. You've read about a hand, like a disembodied hand that crawls around. But you don't have any recollection of a skull that is surrounded by flames, unfortunately.
Sorry. No.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself
Doesn't-
thinking about it, Feathers.
No. Did you hear that sound too, did you? Sorry.
And there was dead bodies, and considering our bad luck, they're probably gonna fucking jump to life and try and claw our faces off. So there's that, and there's like a huge, I think it's a forge. It's like, it's just massive. Like, I don't know how dwarves would run something that big. They're all like pretty short. Anyway, but this leads out into a trench, and I don't think they could see me. And I know there's like some magic that makes it so you're quiet, like pass without a fuckery or something. You do that? You do that kind of shit, Feathers?
Oh, I love it.
No. I'm sorry, no, I don't have that. I don't have that.
Yeah, I don't know any of the magical stuff. I mean, I got beat your face in with an axe spell. That's about it.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. I'm pretty okay with that. And then Youngblood here just knows how to mangle people. I don't think he's really too good on the being quiet stuff. It's a pretty tall. We could sort of.
You reckon we could sneak past and maybe get past the undead things and maybe move west? Is it go west or what? I mean, did it go in the right direction?
Northwest by the look of it.
Oh,
And so we try to sneak past him. No point trying to kill undead people in some weird skull.
I agree. I think, yeah.
But can you be quiet, Youngblood?
I've been quiet before. I've been very quiet, and most of these times, thank you very much.
And just, you got a tendency to trip on stuff, you know, like. You're pretty good on your feet for dancing, but when it comes to sneaking past stuff, right? Like a face
I'll be
plan,
right.
or you know, like.
I should
You're right,
be
mate.
right. Yeah.
I mean, I have been known to be stealthy, but I do tend to fall off things occasionally. I mean, be pushed occasionally. Just don't push me, all right, Youngblood, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, and there's a water wheel. I think we probably want to steer clear for that. If we like make it turn, we might draw something's attention.
Well, I don't intend on playing with the water wheel.
The only other option is to go back and try and find a way through that.
I mean, we could try go. I did see a bit of a path, like heading round more northwards, but if we're wanting to go west, it might not be such a good idea. I mean, it could be. I mean, it might head west after. We've got no idea of knowing.
So, do we scout another path or try this way? I think Gundren is probably headed. There's like a couple of paths further down. I couldn't really see. It got really dark. He might be coming up that way. If he's coming that way and we're not there when he gets there, like that floaty skull thing might fuck him up. And then we don't get paid.
I do want to get paid.
Maybe this way's a bit faster. Save the old man, should be alright here.
Well, it was pretty safe when you went through. Like he didn't come down, or the floating skull didn't attack you. So,
as long as we're quiet, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. I'm up for going through this way.
I agree.
All right.
Alrighty then. So, before you head through, let's do a group one of them.
One of them. Always wanted one of them.
Group one of them.
Never afford one.
Got some good rolls there. And Grimshaw, always the one. Luckily, I mean, as a group roll, I mean, his roll is definitely lower. He is going to be a lot noisier than the rest of you. But with again, a high roll of 26 and the other two being well above the DC for this particular check, the average out will be a little work in your favor a little bit. As you move through, so you guys can move through now into that next area if you wish. As you move through, let's move Grimshaw over here so we're not standing on each other. So just, yeah, you'll teleport over there. Oh, we teleported back. Let's move Who forward a little bit. Hang on, JJ. We'll move you off and then move you back on. There we go. So as you move through, again, what you can see in the light is not actually what you guys can see. So just be aware, you're in a 10-foot trench. It is roughly hewn rock, so it can be climbed. Those of you that are taller, that's probably a little bit more like it with the light turned off. You can see the green glow of this floating skull. You can't see the skull itself, but you can see the green glow of it. I think I can turn your light on and off, Arcos, anyway.
Yeah, it's a different light that I turned off, and then it turned the other light off anyway.
I know. But I can turn this one off. That makes it pitch black, but I'll turn that one back on because that's the light you've got. Which will last. Unless you want it turned off, you can ask for it to be turned off.
No, I don't think I want Who to turn me off. I'm not his type.
But anyway, so as you're through this, you if you wanted to have a peer over the edge, you can, but it would require another check. It'll require a perception check from my creatures to see if they can see you. If you do not wish to peek over, let me know, and if you want to continue your journey, we'll work on the current stealth checks. Do you wish to continue?
I'm interested as a cleric, but
you want to have a look?
I don't want to risk it.
Do we need to make a wisdom? Do we need to make a wisdom save, Who, to see if you are tempted or not to peer over the edge as your curiosity gets the better of you? Is this what I'm hearing?
I am a cleric and I am interested, and I know nothing about it, so it's piquing my interest. Go on.
Do we make a roll?
Yeah,
do we make a roll? Okay, let's grab Who here. We've got to make a quick roll here, guys. We're going to grab Who. We're going to make a wisdom saving throw. There you go, Who. We'll get you to roll that for me. You're curious, but your curiosity is not that much that you would risk detection at this point. So you're pretty good. So you choose not to take a peek over the edge and continue forward with the rest of your group. So with that, you move forward a little bit. You move up to this water wheel. And again, as you get closer to it, the water wheel itself, you can see covered in cobwebs and dust, has not been used in decades, like decades and decades. Even to the point where some of the metal in the structure looks rusted and probably beyond moving. Like the central wheel itself, you can see it's got metal built in it. It's the Dwarven architecture, so they use metal and springs, and it's long rusted. So it would definitely take some time to repair to get this moving again. However, as Mr. Grimshaw walks up to it, he sort of looks around, and he sort of leans his elbow on the edge of the water wheel to prop himself up. Doesn't move much, maybe an inch, but it lets out a loud squeal of metal on metal. And he sort of stands upright and sort of looks back at you guys as all of you do that slow turn as you hear this noise, and just glare at him. What wasn't me? shit.
And you're gonna say I was gonna make all the fucking noise. Who? Look at this fucker.
And with that, he sort of stops, he's dead in his tracks, and he looks up, sort of waiting to see what happens. And as you watch and wait, you see the light of this, whatever this creature is, gets closer and closer to the edge. It floats very close indeed to, we're going to turn around a bit there. Grimshaw is going to have to roll another quick stealth roll, hide check, as he darts behind the wheel to try and avoid detection, as the rest of you are kind of hidden from view. He is not doing well. He steps forward and catches his foot on the edge. Who's closest? Youngblood, you're closest to him there. As he catches his foot on the edge, I'll give you a quick reaction here. If you can succeed on this dexterity check, I'm going to get you to roll a... get you to roll that for me. If you succeed on this check, you will catch him and drag him out of view. Unfortunately, with the 5, you catch him, all right, but he stumbles down to his knees, and as this creature steps, sort of floats to the edge, and all you hear, the moment it sort of reaches the edge, where is it? As it opens its mouth and lets out this horrifying screech, and it descends into, it sort of just leaps, almost like it just floats off the edge, but it descends into the area you are currently in. And with that, we are going to have to go into initiative, guys. So if you go to the combat tab, you should be able to roll initiative from there. We've got a natural 20 from Arcos, another natural 20 for the night.
That's Youngblood's natural 20.
Was that Youngblood's? Okay. Need to bring this music up a little bit. So, Grimshaw's the only one that hasn't rolled. I think I rolled for someone accidentally. I rolled for the skull. Cool. So we're going to begin our combat. Arcos, you get the initiative here. As you turn and hear the screech of this creature, you see that poor old Grimshaw is down on one knee. He sort of scrambles back to his feet, turns just in time to see this thing sort of float down off the side, screeches once more. It is your turn. You probably be able to squeeze past people down there if you wanted to. Kind of up to you what you want to do at this point.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And seeing that Grimshaw is down on one knee and not really knowing why, Arcus would probably go back and try and help him by trying to stab at the skull.
No worries.
Against his better judgment.
Indeed.
Pop myself there.
Yeah, so easy enough to get past your companions there to do so. So you've targeted the creature there. Roll your attack.
Oh, that was nearly good, and then it wasn't.
Unfortunately, misses the creature with an 11. It just, as you wait to sort of go to stab at it, it sort of just ducks and floats, and then comes back to a sort of a bobbing, swaying motion with this green arcane flame flaring from all around its head.
Alright.
I believe you have an offhand attack. 16 does hit. Why is that auto applied? Does that auto? Oh, is that what I applied it?
Weird.
Oh no, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it from a different view over here, because I'm not used to watching different views. I haven't done it for a while. Yoink! It did. It took some damage.
Yeah. Alright. I will apply the...
It only took half damage though, by the looks of it. It didn't take as much damage as you expected. You will get your sneak attack, however, which is a further 4 points of damage. So you do strike it. It doesn't seem to take as much as you would have thought it would have taken, but it definitely took some damage.
Yeah. And I'm like, I suggest we fucking run, and then I'm gonna run back through.
He's gonna book it.
Yeah. I'm also gonna target myself because it's how I roll.
So you moved. How much did you move to where you were?
Let's have a look.
So you moved 20 feet roughly to where you were. So you got 10 feet left. Ish.
Yep. Boop.
That puts you right on top of. You can go one more just so you're not standing on top of old. We know where you are. We'll leave you there for now. We know where you are. So with that, you move away. You don't get the opportunity to attack because of your skills as a rogue. You are able to avoid that. Next up is Youngblood, as Arcos streaks past you saying, "It's time to go, let's go." Don't, like, it just, he's basically saying, "Let's get out of here." Holy loud.
Sorry. Try to speak to
Just
it.
drop this lunch.
No, go, look, we don't need no harm. Just want to walk through. Are you a protector like the other guy, with the eye and shit? Look, you just want to move forward. Don't want to hurt you.
It literally just screeches back at you.
Okay, fuck this, and okay, I'll just run.
So you head, you got 30 feet, so you got 2 more squares. There you go. Actually, probably a little bit further than that. One more. So with that, you book in the opposite direction, following Arcos's suggestion. It is now its turn. What is it going to do here? It does have a multi-attack. Going to be... Grimshaw's is the one that's closest to it, so... Whoa, natural 20 on Grimshaw with its first attack. Dealing 23 points of fire damage. And you hear Grimshaw call out in pain as he's just engulfed in flame. It rolls its second attack, also at him. This time missing, however, striking the wall behind him. He's definitely in a lot of pain. You can see him down on one knee, like the fur off one arm and up his upper chest is all singed off and smoking and sort of still smouldering. That is its turn. It's not going to move from where it is. Who is now your turn?
Okay, I've already targeted. I'm going to cast blindness and deafness on the creature.
Okay.
I think I've already got it targeted. Just let me double check.
Yep, so just click on the spell and it should give me the save that I need. So, con of 13. Let's see what it's... Ooh, interesting. Unfortunately, natural 20 on the save. And I'll show you that just so we can see that it rolled a natural 20 on the save, so it is unaffected by your spell. Doesn't seem worried by it at all.
And I start booking it in the same direction it is doing.
It is now Grimshaw's turn. Grimshaw is not happy about just being set on fire. He sort of looks over his shoulder and just says, "Run!" And with that, he also rages as he cries out. He targets the creature. He is going to miss with his first attack. His second attack, however, strikes the creature, dealing a massive amount of damage as he slams down with the flat of his axe. And the creature sort of bobs down, hits the side of the wall, and sort of floats back up. Its fire dims for a split second, not too much, but it dims enough that it seems like it's taken damage, and he stands his ground, just bellowing at you guys to run. Back to your turn, Arcos. Back to the top of the initiative.
So Varkos looks back at Grimshaw. How messed up does he look?
He's looking pretty burnt. Like almost his entire left upper torso, left arm is almost hairless with the amount of fire damage he's just taken. But he doesn't seem to be phased by it. He's in full rage mode. His size is almost bulked. Like you can see he's almost not doubled in size, but you can see he's bulked up. You've seen him rage before. You know that he's not really going to be thinking about anything other than killing this thing right now.
So Arcos looks at the others in front of him, turns around to Grimshaw, realizes that Grimshaw's not gonna walk away, and I will go back down there and stab this thing.
He will call out to you as you move closer, telling you not to. Like, just stay away, run!
No. Arcos can't do it. I don't know whether I'm going to be close enough for this to hit, like where I'm sat.
Probably not. You might have to move closer. You should be able to move onto the water wheel, maybe. I don't know where I put the.
Yep.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah, it looks like it. Alright.
So with that, you hit this flaming skull with your first attack, dealing another small amount of damage. Again, its light dims but does not extinguish. It is still floating there. It's
Apply the sneak attack damage.
Yep. Another 10 points of damage, which will be halved, unfortunately.
Yep.
It's still there, but it's not looking great, but it's still there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. I'll roll a wisdom check. See if I run or hit him again. See? Oops, that was not what I meant to do. Oh shit, I re-rolled initiative. I clicked the wrong button. I do apologise.
That's alright, I know roughly what you were. You were above Youngblood anyway, so...
Yeah.
Update combatant, we can put you back. I think it was 20. We'll put you at 24, which puts you back.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
It was close enough to it. I just noticed there was a muck up in my command. So with that, yeah, you managed to strike him, but unfortunately it's still there.
Hmm.
Oops, wrong keyboard. I had the wrong keyboard.
I can't see nothing no more.
No, I think I just deleted you from the thing. But I'll put you back.
If I hang around, I might be deleted.
I'll just put oh look, you just reappeared, magically reappeared. I'll put you back in the initiative order, and I'll redo that again. Sorry guys. Technical difficulties. I know, it's great. Yoink, there we go. So it is Youngblood's turn.
Right. I was going to do my offhand.
We can take it back to your turn, which is really easy, just like that.
Hey. I mean, I really want tacos, and the chat's promised me tacos, so. Alright, offhand.
I just had to fix up the command over there too, because Nutty didn't balls it up. I think I balls it up. But it's all good. Anywho, so with the offhand attack, you'll get it won't be the full 9, it'll be 4 piercing damage. Half to 2, because your offhand does not get, because you don't have the feat that gives you the modifier, so it will be 2 damage.
Yep. And then I will back up as far as I can go, which
No
will
worries.
be not very far.
Yeah, probably another 10 feet. I think it's about all you had left.
Yeah, into there.
Yeah. Now it's Youngblood's turn.
Youngblood looking back, he knows he has to go back. It's in his nature. He's the most lovable person in the whole crew, always trying to make friends and shit. He goes back.
And all you get from Grimshaw is, again, as you come wandering back, it's like, there's nobody fucking listen anymore.
Shut up! And you'll go in with his sword.
Alright, target
try
the
to
skull.
get- Oh, yeah.
We're going to target him first before you can attack. There we go.
I was in the moment and forgot.
It's all good. You hit, and you, I believe, do enough damage with a single blow. You swing downwards, swing past Grimshaw's head, down past his shoulder, and slam into the top of the skull. You hear a rather loud cracking sound as the flame sort of bursts outwards as it dies. I will need you and Grimshaw to roll this for me. However,
There we go.
Grimshaw should have rolled that at advantage. Alright, he passed anyway. You're both good. This thing, it just explodes in fragments of bone as it dies, and little bits of bone are peppered all over the place. Grimshaw sort of turns his head and brings his axe up in front of his face, and you hear the ting 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 as bones shatter against his axe, and you get your armor protects you from any kind of fragments that sort of spray out. It doesn't appear that, as you sort of stop and wait and listen, it doesn't appear that there's anything else moving in this room. Perhaps you were wrong about the undead always rising. Maybe they've been killed twice already, 3 times even. Maybe there's not undead at all. But it does not seem that anything else is approaching you at this point. Which will bring us to the end of the combat, ladies and Germanies. We're going to assign some XP to these guys. Get you guys to add your XP in the chat there. Grimshaw's rage is going to subside. So Youngblood, you just need to click add in the chat. There we go.
Yeah, I kept clicking it. Some reason it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's one of those
You
things.
click it like 3 times.
It happens.
Hey, it does.
So yeah, so you. I'll just turn off our battle music as well. You sort of take a breath. You relax. You look over at Grimshaw, and you can smell burnt hair and burnt flesh as you sort of turn and look at him, and he's pretty severely burnt to the fact he again drops to one knee, breathing heavily after his rage, his adrenaline leaves him, and that starts to subside. and he sort of looks up, hand on axe, sort of on the top of his axe, sort of leaning here, and he says, "You guys should have just listened. I had it under control." Ow.
Yeah, all right, big fella. Just drink this. You fucking stink. And I give him my medium healing.
I think he has one. I think you can target him and roll it, and it should give it to him, I think.
All right. I'll give it to him, all right. Take that how you want it.
Let's see if that shout out works properly now. Yes, it works properly. Sweet.
Did it work?
It did, and did indeed. He's looking a lot better. He watches the burns, sort of, you know how burn, like, have you ever seen a really bad burn? The flesh is bubbled and mottled and red and sore and kind of it's all wet and jelly like. You see the hair, you see that mottled flesh sort of slowly knit and sort of come back with the magical healing. The hair doesn't fully come back in though, like he hasn't come back completely. Like he's definitely going to have some scarring there, not unlike Youngblood's scarring from the acid burn that he took the previous day. So the scarring's still there, but the hair does come back somewhat, and he sort of stands up. Oh, thanks, Argos. I needed that, but oh my god.
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry. It didn't look like it was going to move, and I just sort of went to sort of I'm not touching anything else, I swear.
You alright back there, Feathers?
Yeah. Anybody need any healing up?
I think that potion did it. I'll be good for now.
Fuck, I did never get a chance to touch.
You probably need to keep your energy for maybe later in case we end up fighting like that super strong wizard dude, the big eye man beast thing was talking about.
So we're still heading west, I gather. Like or is this where we're supposed to be at the forge?
Yeah, looks like it goes north though. Like it bends back round.
I mean, we don't know where it goes. I mean, we could go explore, see how far it goes, or we can sort of climb out here and. But is that he sort of peers up? You can see he grabs the edge and sort of peers up over the side. There's a corridor like going that way, because if that way's north, then that way's like never eat soggy. That way's west.
Yeah. I mean, surely if the undead were going to rise, they probably would have risen, right? I mean, they maybe just said dead.
Give me a second. And he sort of... I better turn the light off from... that thing's supposed to be dead. It's not supposed to be lit anymore. I'm going to get rid of it. Goodbye, blood splatter and light. Yeah, so Grimshaw sort of moves up to the edge here and sort of yanks himself up. Looks over the edge. And you think, oh shit, here we go again. He literally pulls himself out, walks over to the nearest corpse, and just buries his axe into its head. And it just, like lops the head clean off it. And I think it's dead.
Jolly good. Alright, let's get out of here.
So
instead of climbing,
my
was
shoulders or
it
something. You can climb up.
10 feet? I can pretty much launch
oh
up
yeah.
there.
I mean, the ceiling height in here is pretty high, so you got more than enough room to fly. So you guys, I think I might have to move you out of the thing.
Yep. I think it has to be so.
I just gotta
There's
get-
a
I just gotta-
stone wall in my way.
Yep, I just got to get you up to. Oops, shit. Anyone, people? I just got to get you up to there, and you can then move yourself from there easily enough. So, we need to get the other side. Like, who flew over there? I think that's West, ain't it? He's sort of looking at you for for correction.
Yeah. Let's just chop the heads off of any we see as we go, just in case. You don't want to get the undead in the back.
which
Well, I can smash it with my mace, I suppose.
yeah,
Just
so
crush 'em.
easily enough done. Between the four of you, sort of wander around finding a corpse, and either remove its head or smash its head in. Who you'd know even without thinking that if obviously if they were going to get up, they probably would have already, and a surefire way to ensure that they don't get up ever again is to either douse them in holy water or burn the bodies if you really wanted to make it thorough.
Smashing the heads is more fun.
I mean, that seems to be working. Like, none of them have seemed to have gotten up at this point.
I'm pretty sure looking at the bodies, I probably would not have enough holy water to.
Probably not.
Yeah. Look, I feel pretty confident. What do you reckon, Youngblood? You're a ghost. Are they going to get up?
No, not gonna get up. Even though I'm not a ghost and don't know if they're gonna get up or not, but I was gonna tell you they're not gonna get up.
You said you were a ghost back there.
I heard
Yeah,
them.
to shut you up.
We all heard it. Now you're going to tell us you're not a ghost. I mean, so you're a liar then. I don't like liars.
I prefer a ghost, if I'm honest.
I didn't lie. I just agreed to shut you up. It's two different things.
It's
You know
lying
I'm not a
though.
ghost.
That's lying by regression, decision, something like that. I can't remember.
Well, I'm sorry I lied to you.
Omission. That's omission. Yeah.
Right, what he said.
Well, I'm very sorry I lied to you guys. Can you ever forgive me?
Just this
Doesn't sound-
once, and he walks up and gives you a great big bear hug.
I said that sarcastic as I did just then too.
Yeah, I thought it did not sound sincere.
I mean, Grimshaw don't care. He just walks up to you and gives you a great big bear hug.
Give it back.
Yeah.
Don't you kiss me, though. I'm not into that.
All right.
I suppose we should carry
I'm
on.
glad
then,
you said
right?
that because I saw him starting to poke his tongue out a little bit there too. You know, like
Oh, you just cut it out, right? I told you not. I'm not into that. I mean, some sailors are, but not me.
I'd ship you two.
You'd shit on us? That's not very nice.
I mean, I could do, but
Yeah, well, I mean, no,
nah, I couldn't.
no.
Anyway,
All right, lead the way. Navigate
there's a-
Arcos.
there's a door. Every time we open a door,
Nothing.
you know.
Doors seem to be like nasty things. Just saying.
especially when Youngblood opens them.
You want me to knock on the door?
I don't know if we want to knock on the door. I mean,
Well, maybe you should have a listen first.
yeah, it's worked so far.
There's what's this here? There's okay. That's just pretty much going back in the same direction we just came from.
So, Mr. Arcos, you put your big buffy ears against the door. I'll get you to roll a perception check for me. With a massive 9.
Massive 9, big old.
Big old 9, you can hear nothing from the other side of this door.
Well, I can't hear nothing. Although it did sound like the door just.
No, it was supposed to be locked prior. me being a forgetful DM, I forgot to lock the door earlier. But it is there. You cannot hear anything. Okay, you didn't hear a thing.
That's how you get intruders in the place. What are you doing?
Let anybody in here.
I can't hear anything. I mean, at least it's not groaning and carrying on like those other doors back there.
I know, right? It was a little disturbing.
There's no light
Yeah.
glowing around the edge of the doorway either, like the other room.
No light at all.
Try and open the door then.
You can try and open the door if you like. You can even click on it and it should rattle.
Oh no!
It's locked. What do you do? As you try and... The door's not actually locked, but as you try and move it, it budges like a tiny wee bit. But it seems that there might be possibly something leaning up against it on the other side. It's kind of hard to move. Might take a little bit of effort to move the door.
Yes. It doesn't feel locked per se, just...
Stand back. I got this.
I mean...
Go get it, Greg.
If it's blocked, do we... alright.
Charge! And Grimshaw just launches himself towards the door. He's going to make this roll with advantage. 15. It'll pretty much do it. He launches himself forward, slamming into the door. The door flies open like splinters in two, sending shards of wood and debris. And you can see there's a big pile of wood and debris on the other side that he sort of just charges through, topples them over, and ends up on his ass about that far into the room. And he sort of...
Did it?
Oh, Jesus. He's nowhere in here. And as you walk
You're out
into
there,
this...
mate, and off a hand up to help him up.
He gets up, dusts himself off, and what you find is it looks like a barrack room of some description. There's several bunk beds sort of around the room. There's nothing major. There's a brazier in the centre of the room, which is glowing, it's been recently doused. Like it's not burning, but it has been burning recently. It's still warm as you run your sort of hands over the glowing coals. It's still very warm, but it's not giving off any major light. Just a very dim sort of light coming off this thing. And across the other side, you see another door. Over yonder. Another closed door over here. Little alcove in this corner here, nothing much in it. It doesn't appear to be anybody here. That like the beds look used, so there's definitely has been people sleeping here. But where they are now, you have no idea. They are no longer in this room, if they are indeed here at all.
Well, I don't think these beds were used by the things we cut the heads off of, and I don't think floating disembodied skulls need to sleep or would light a fire, considering it was sort of flaming.
I mean, this is west, right? I mean, we're heading in the right direction.
Yes, Grimshaw, this is west.
So,
To remind you every couple of minutes.
well,
go west.
I might remember eventually.
Well, it's not much email, so check next door. Keep going.
Well, we need to catch up with what's his face.
Unless we want to rest, but I'm good.
I mean, we should have a look around. I mean, it looks like someone was here recently. Maybe they've left something behind. Good adventurer always checks his surroundings.
Yeah, not wrong. Do your stuff there, Bugs.
I want to poke around in people's stuff.
Yeah. You're gonna poke around in the
Yeah,
stuff.
what he said.
Gonna poke around in people's stuff.
I know.
I just sit back and watch that Bugs do like what it all.
So he's gonna look around through the bedding and stuff to see if there's anything there.
Yep.
Roll an investigation check for me. I just need to do a couple of things over here. Off the page.
Investigation.
Investigation.
4.
That's not very much.
No, it's not.
I is helping.
Roll again.
Roll again.
We're getting an advantage roll here.
Oh, we'll let who roll it. That's much better.
That's much better. So, I mean, not that you find a whole lot anyway. as you're sort of going through, you do find in one of the beds a small backpack, sort of hidden under the bedding, and inside is about 22 silver. Not much at all, but there is a little bit of coinage there. There is a old piece of parchment, which, if you were to read it, if you want to read it, you can. It's just a little piece of rolled up parchment.
Yeah, got to read it.
You unfurl it, and
If I can.
in common, it does. It says, it looks like a grocery list of sorts. Meat, like there's meat on there, like not much vegetables, there's a lot of meat, like beef, goat, deer. Like it's almost like this person, whoever who resides in this bed, may have been given this to go purchase some supplies or procure supplies for whoever's living down here. Apart from that, there's not a whole lot in this room. Like whatever other belongings were here have been taken with the occupants when they left.
Such a waste. And whoever was sleeping in that bed's got either really bad incontinence or just terrible hygiene. It smells like piss.
One would say it smells like bugbear,
Bugbear piss?
or just bugbear in general. They stink. Hang on, that might be Youngblood. He was pretty stinky earlier.
It's only my feet. I don't smell like fucking bugbear, do I?
No, you're right. It's just smelly feet.
Never really sniffed a bugbear before.
Well, they don't smell very good dead. Even worse alive.
We killed one.
We did. Well, I mean, I've killed several.
Yeah, we didn't go out of my way to sniff it either.
Well, maybe next time you should. You get a smell of these things, and then you know what's around.
Have we killed many in this part of this little fucking whatever you call it?
Not so far.
Nah, that was Clark. His name was Clark, remember?
Oh,
remember
that,
Clark?
was I there for that? I don't know.
No.
Was
No,
that-
Xanxus
I
was
can't
there.
remember shit.
Oh yeah.
I remember what I ate for supper, mate.
Wasn't that when you guys were like before you got to Phandelver, right? Like you found a cave full of supplies. I heard the story.
Yeah, back in the
Yeah,
good
I
old
remember.
days.
Back when
Yeah,
I
we
didn't.
believe
Back
it.
when I didn't really like you guys very much. Well, that blue fella, anyway.
Rude.
Well, it wasn't I didn't like you. I was employed by Dickweed, and then like your blue friend got smart, and I had to hurt him a little bit. I mean, it wasn't.
Ah,
I mean,
friend is a very strong word.
I see you as friends. What's wrong with that
traveling
word friend?
companion. Then, if that suits better.
Yeah, look, I feel like he'd be offended if we said he was our friend, to be honest.
I get that impression too. He didn't really like you guys very much.
I don't think he liked anyone.
I don't think he liked himself very much, to be fair.
Mm,
I mean, he did try and take on a much larger gentleman with much better skills, and got his
I
ass
don't
whipped.
remember that.
I do. I remember.
gentleman?
I remember. Well, I use the term gentleman loosely.
Are you talking about
Minotaur.
you?
I mean, I'm not really a man, and I'm not really gentle. So
Hmm. Right, yeah,
I do
then.
miss the little fucker there.
do you really?
Yeah, I like giving him shit. He was fun to fuck around with, man.
Well, maybe
Gone strange.
he'll come back one day. But I really don't think he
He-
will.
he-
He seemed
he
like
loved
he
me,
didn't.
Jax.
He
He never
seemed like
wanted
he
me to-
didn't
he did
like you
love
very
him.
much. To be fair.
He loved me, mate. You just didn't want to. You just didn't want to tell anybody. He loved those jokes.
Okay. Shall we continue?
Yeah, let's go.
I agree.
Better watch out for bugbears, though.
Hmm.
If they smell like bugbears near, they're probably maybe at that door.
Before we carry on, it's probably a good time to take a short break. We're about an hour in. We'll take 5,
And
grab a drink,
you're
go for a piss and a cigarette and everything else you want to do. Chat, what's up? Good to see you guys in here.
Hi.
Thank you so much for the raid earlier. and some follows too. So Star Garner with the raid, 16 viewers, taco raid, I believe it was. Bringing all the tacos. Night Mad Dragon with a follow, and insert random numbers with a follow as well. Thank you guys for joining the channel. I appreciate it very much. Appreciate you bringing your crew over here to hang out with us while we play Dungeons and Dragons. We have been focused on a bit of roleplay, obviously. That's why we haven't been talking in the chat, but we are going to take a short break. We will be right back. When I come back, we can have a little bit more of a chat before we get started. So, see you in 5. I'm fully back. What's up, chat? I'm back. So just to catch those up, and the newbies in the chat there, my name is Evldoa. I'm from New Zealand. We do a whole bunch of stuff over here. Map making Monday. So on a Monday, I create some D&D and fantasy maps. Currently doing a Dungeon of the Mad Mage battle maps, preparing for an upcoming campaign. We're going into Waterdeep Dragon Heist very soon. Continuing into Dungeon of the Mad Mage. So I'm creating some maps for that, which we're using here in Foundry. So Foundry Virtual Tabletop is the tabletop that we use for what you're seeing on screen right now, doing all our dice rolling, our tokens and such. All the player tokens are created through HeroForge, and the rest of the tokens I have have gotten through Forgotten Adventures as well, using a bunch of different mods in Foundry. I love Foundry; it's an amazing VTT. We also use all my source material comes from D&D Beyond. Love that site as well. We're using the 5th edition rule set currently, and we are at the tail end of Lost Mines of Phandelver. If you're not familiar with it, there's a starter campaign for D&D, amazing little campaign. We have with me tonight, we have Mr. JJ Aussie Punk playing Youngblood, who is on the far end there when he comes back. We've got Error Code playing Who, What, Where, or Who, What, How, Where, not Doctor, but Who.
No, not Doctor Who.
We've got Grim playing
not the
Arcos Puck, the Hearingon Rogue as well. We'll get them to reintroduce their characters a little bit later on. What else we do? We do obviously D&D on a Wednesday. Currently on Tuesdays, this Tuesday just been, we did some Hitman 3, Hitman Freelancer, which it was okay. I didn't really enjoy it too much. Moving forward, we'll be doing other things on Tuesday. Thursday night is Pew Pew night, so we do customs on PUBG and Rainbow Six, and potentially Fortnite if we get the players. I found the Fortnite customs were a little boring, so we might just chuck some Fortnite in and play some Battle Royale on that. It was a little bit more exciting than the customs. The customs aren't really custom; they're pre-made customs from other players, and I found it a little boring, but we'll look at that.
Yeah, it's hard to get the creator codes because we shut it all down on Epic at the moment. So
it's kind of weird. But anyhow,
make
we'll
your
definitely
own.
look at something like that. We may look at some Division 2 in the future. I've got that back reinstalled. I know Era and Grim have been playing a little bit, so we might look at doing some of that.
Yeah, we got to level 31,
Nice.
and the clan's at level 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Probably should actually play it with my character. Although I do have a level 40 character something, if it really comes down to it. But yeah, Fridays at this stage is sort of a hit and miss whether I'm doing something or not. Coming up, every other Friday will be Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign when we start that, and then we'll choose a gaming on the opposite Friday, which will probably be Sons of the Forest, maybe. We'll probably do that on Tuesdays moving forward as well. I've been enjoying that. It's an early access. They've got a patch coming up in about 10 days, 9 or 10 days. That's a lot of fun. Started Gunners back with food. Welcome back. Thank you so much for the raid, my friend. We're just taking a short break, waiting for Grim and JJ to come back. But what were you streaming tonight, by the way, Star? Were you doing D&D as well? You were doing D&D. Nice. What are you guys playing? Are you DMing or playing? And what are you playing? If with Pathfinder 5e? Give us a little rundown on what you guys are up to. What have we got over here? Oh, just a little bit on my end. Just wait for JJ to get back, and we'll get back into it. Waterdeep Dragon Heist will be our next campaign, which will be coming up. We've got Session 0 on 10th of March, which will not be streamed. We're going to do that off stream, but we'll be getting into that in a few weeks. D&D is a homebrew world. You DM 5e on Fridays. Tonight was working on world map. Nice. Oh, you hand drew it in Photoshop. Awesome. And you made ad for this week's game. Brilliant. A lot of Photoshop stuff. Yeah, I mean, obviously do map creation as well. I've created the map that you're seeing tonight, Waybicker Cave, which is from the Lost Mines stuff. I do it all in Dungeon Draft. Also running a homebrew campaign on Sundays, which is not streamed. I keep that for my players. I streamed the first campaign in my homebrew world, and we did start streaming the second campaign, and I decided I wanted just to keep it separate from my content creation, and ended up taking it away from that. But that runs every other Sunday now, so we're getting into that. I think the guys are like level 4. Are you guys 4 or 5? I think level 4 still.
Yeah, level 4.
Getting
if I
close to
remember
level
right.
5, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going to be a long-term campaign that'll run through to level 20. Purely homebrew world I created probably 4 years ago now, almost 5 years ago. Was campaign 1. So that's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying that. The guys are in a little spot of bother. Well, not really a spot of bother. You're in a house dealing with some criminals. No, I mean, you're not having a bad time of things, but you're
Just
not really
not being
having a
very
good time of
successful.
things either. I think at the moment they're currently facing a green hag. Scallywags, yeah, a criminal element. They're not really bandits; they're a little bit more organised than bandits. The people that are in this house, but they're there to try and find evidence and free 2 princes that have been kidnapped potentially. As far as they're aware, that these 2 princes potentially in this house, and their job, they have been ordered. They're a part of the military, so they've been ordered to investigate this place and find out evidence of the princes' whereabouts, and gather any evidence on this particular crew that are supposedly involved. And they've just come up against a green hag, which is interesting because I don't think any of you were able to hit her last week. I don't think she did any damage to you guys either, but no one hit her.
Yep, no one hit her. Bad rolls.
It was some pretty bad rolls, indeed. But then that's D&D. It's all down to the dice roll, isn't it? But apart from that, we've been doing all sorts of stuff here in Evil's Lair. We do map making, we do obviously the D&D, we do some first-person shooters, we do RPGs as well. Currently doing a little bit of Sons of the Forest, which I'm really enjoying. We do. I do play a lot of World of Warcraft as well. Although my server is currently dying, our population is dropping. The bottom's dropping out of it, so I'll be looking for a server transfer at the moment at some point, or I may just cancel my sub and find a different game. Because there's only so many OC servers available. Unfortunately, the population is not great. My party killed 2 people I thought would be around a bit longer, but they rolled well and got the kills. It happens, man. Like, I remember in campaign 1, in the first homebrew campaign we did, I only took it to level 15, and when we got to level 15, they came up against the big bad, which was a ancient red/shadow dragon, which is a hybrid dragon that I created, and its rider. And a whole bunch of other things were going on in the background as well. But they actually did pretty well. They managed to defeat the dragon. I mean, they took a reasonable amount of damage themselves, but I expected at least one of them to die. But they managed to get through it relatively unscathed, so without dying anyway. The wyvern rears up, so any shot at the Baron riding him would have partial cover. That's true. Oh, the cleric, I just took Spell Sniper, which negates cover. I love it. Come on, JJ. Where's JJ? JJ, come back. JJ, come back. Good time. We're just waiting for Mr. JJ to return from toileting and drinking, and I mean he's got a bunch of kids at his house too. Might take him a little while to get back.
Good old JJ's got a tribe over there.
Yeah, definitely. And blame it all on you. Okay, well, it's always the DM's fault, isn't it? I mean, it's our fault when we let our players do things and take stuff. How dare you let your players do stuff? Why would you let them do things?
Hmm.
I'm not allowed to do things. Oh, the song lyrics. You blame it all on me, of course. I miscued on that one. JJ, come back, yeah.
I want you back.
Baby,
JJ,
come back. Oh, wow. But, as I
And
say...
we just can't live without him.
Exactly. So, these guys are getting awfully close to the end. They know it. I know it. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens here. So whether we make it to the end tonight, or whether we get to at least the last piece and call it there and pick it up next week, we'll see. But we are getting awfully close.
Nah, he's a smusher.
No, he's JJ is the fighter of the group. He's a furbog fighter. Who's the cleric? Who's the healer? The cleric.
Just remember, not the doctor.
Yeah, it's not the
Not
doctor.
the doctor.
Oh.
So
Not the
if
doctor.
you look up above me there, you'll see the stats, and you'll see who it is on the other opposite side of the screen. So we've got Youngblood up there at the moment, level 4 fighter, AC of 16, and a max HP of 40, and it slowly ticks over. He's back.
Sorry, my wife jacked me up at the whole concert thing.
You know, it's all good. We were talking about you till you got back. It's okay.
That's alright. Ridiculous, lots of rap music, yeah, I know.
Yeah, totally, 100%. Right, but we're back, so we're going to get back into it, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Stargunner, thank you for hanging out as long as you have too. Like, it's cool to have a raid to hang out a bit once they come in. Sometimes I know how it is. Sometimes it's not possible. Anywho, so you've found this barrack room. You've done a little bit of a search, and you've discovered a shopping list of sorts and a few silver coins, but not much else. So we'll turn it back over to you gentlemen now, and we will continue.
Listen at this door. Just a stank.
You better listen to the door. If it smells like bugbear, they might be closed.
He sounds like he's a baby behind that door.
Baby
Sure.
bugbears?
I mean, it could be. I mean, you never know.
We want to be careful. I've heard they're pretty vicious.
yeah,
yeah.
I ain't handling no babies.
No, I don't do babies neither.
Yeah, I heard that one's a cheeky little shit.
Well, they could be. I mean, I'm assuming you were a baby once and you were a cheeky asshole. So, right,
Maybe
gonna
not cheeky.
you gonna listen at that door, Arcos. I mean, you got the ears for it.
Yeah, I know.
So we will get another perception roll from Arcos as he puts his big floppy ear to the door, and he rolls terribly once again. As far as you're aware, there is nothing behind the door. It is all quiet on the western front.
Yep. Well, it's pretty quiet back here too. No sign of any babies or bugbears or whatever.
Well, I suppose we should carry on, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Oh. And I will open the door. Because what could possibly go wrong?
Exactly. I mean, what can go wrong opening a door, right?
Nothing.
Take an arrow to the knee.
You can open said door, and as you open said door, your light spills through. Before you move through it, however, you coming from this direction, you can see the flickering of torchlight. As you do, and as you stand and watch for a moment, you see a familiar figure sort of walking through. He sort of, as he sees the light coming from his from the other direction, he sort of turns, whoop, your direction. All right, there you are. You see your mate, all right? Did you
Yeah,
find the
for the most
forge?
part.
Is it that way? Oh, nice. Gonna have to take a look at that later. See if we can get it going. After we clear out the, you know, the sorcerer dude things and stuff. Alright then. Well, I'm guessing from memory, I think it's this way. He sort of points to the northern hallway.
Right, then.
Oh,
Looks like we're going to get this done.
after you. I mean, after all, I'm paying you for it, innit?
I better zoom the map out a little bit.
So, he definitely points you in that northern direction. And he waits for you. Waits for you to move forward. Oh, excuse me. I just about stood on you then. Sorry about that.
Eh.
Right, you continue to move forward. Up ahead of you, you got a stairwell leading up to another junction area. This area, sort of Gundren gets up to you and sort of says to you, slow down a little bit. I think I scouted up here a little bit earlier, and I'm sure I heard someone down to the right, down by the waterfall. So just take it slowly. Be very careful. So Youngblood, I mean, obviously you don't have dark vision, do you? No, so you can't really see. So you get to the corner, the light sort of spills out into the hallway. I turn his torch off. Turn off. There we go. Gundren snuffs out his torch and sort of turns to you, Arcos, and says, "You might want to extinguish that for a moment. Let me have a look. Have a look just to see what's out there, eh?"
Fellas, how do we turn this thing off?
So you can dispel it, obviously, as a free action at this point, and I can turn it off. So
Dispel it?
you just say that you just want to turn it off, and I can turn it off.
Yep. Okay, turn it off. Yep. Hey, wait for the hands. Abracadabra.
Abracadabra, and you turn the light off. So what Gundren does is he steps forward, and he sort of peers around the corner both ways. He sort of says quietly to you guys, even though Youngblood, you probably can't see a whole lot, and neither can Arcos, as the dwarf disappears around the corner. Just very, very slowly steps around the corner, looking into what's around there. After a few moments, he comes back, steps back round past you guys, comes down to the bottom of the stairs and sort of whispers, "Hey, come back down." Oh, the light turn back on by itself. Comes back down and relights his torch, beckons you guys to the bottom of the stairs. Right, in that next room, into the right, but we've got, looks like 2 or 3 above the waterfall. And from what I understand, from my investigations, I'm a wee bit sneaky when I want to be. Might be a couple more at the bottom of the waterfall, sending things up. I've been doing some digging down there, digging for more ley lines and stuff. To the left is where we need to go. So your choice, boys. Do we go to the left and deal with this individual? He at this point turns and looks directly at you, Arcos, knowing your stake in this. Or do you want to take out reinforcements before they're needed? I mean, they may not hear us, but they may. Do we take a risk or not?
I'm sick of these fuckers running off. And if they know we're coming, whoever's in there might scarper.
I mean, I'll leave it up to you, boys. If you want to go in there and deal with this guy now, get it over and done with. You can deal with the hangers-on later. They may run if their payment is cut off, so to speak. Don't know how many are in this room, however, and from what I understand, he's no slouch with the arcane. And being here in this place, chances are it's a little more powerful than normal. Just so you're aware.
Filthy magical fuckers. No offense, who?
None
Well,
taken.
what do you reckon? I say we go in the room. I don't want this fucker running away.
Cut the head of the snake off, and the rest will run.
I agree. It's
You know
now
what?
or never. Proper feeling.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I ever say this, but I'm with the dwarf. I think we should like kill the big bad fella, like the one with the magic-y stuff. No offense, who? Smash him in the face. You can stab him like 100 times if I know you really want to. And then we can deal with the rest of them after. I mean, they may, like he says, they may run away if they think that their boss is dead. I mean, that's generally what happens on a pirate ship when the captain dies, right? I mean, they either take over or run away.
Eh. Mutiny. Well, I say we do it quietly, so as not to draw the attention of...
Yeah. Remember, be quiet. Like, don't make lots of noise. It wasn't me.
Mind your fucking hooves, mate.
I mean, I can stand back and watch for the others if you want. I mean, if you want me to be like extra quiet, I can just stay right here, and when all the shit hits the fan, I can come running.
Nah, we might need you in there, big fella.
So, is the decision being made to do some stealthy stealth again?
Yes. Stealth west, where the people are.
Let's get some stealth checks then.
Delightful.
Grimshaw with a 6 again. Oh. And of course the dwarf gets advantage in the cave with the stealth and the stuff. He gets a 20. So Grimshaw's still the lowest. But again, average is pretty good. So I don't think he's going to draw too much attention. He's definitely going to be louder than you guys. It may or may not hinder you in any kind of surprise attack. But for all intents and purposes, he's definitely a lot quieter than what he was before. Because there's nothing really for him to lean on, for him to squeak or like anything like that. So you guys can carry on moving forward if you wish. And left, I believe, Gundren said that you're looking for. Gundren sort of tiptoes past you quite quickly, and again, even with the armor and stuff he's wearing, he's very quiet. I would say even you, Arcos, would be impressed with how quiet he is. Why do I always forget to get rid of those? So as you're moving forward, I mean, Grimshaw is a little heavy on his feet. I would say, Arcos, I'd say you'd probably be the one to sort of say something to him or just glare at him again, because he's sort of up behind you and it's sort of clump, like a little heavier footed than he should be.
Gonna get you some booties, mate.
Well, it's kind of hard with these things. I'm doing my best, I really am. You move forward. At the end of the corridor, you see definitely some form of cave-in has blocked the cabin. As you breach the corner, you do see a door that looks in far better repair than previous doors. It has been well maintained. You're not sure whether it's locked or not, but it's currently closed. Underneath you can see the flicker of torchlight. So the room is potentially occupied from what you can tell. What are your intentions, gentlemen?
You want me to have a listen this time, Marcos?
Yeah, look, yeah.
So, we need who to make a perception roll?
Snaption.
Perception. That's not great. You obviously can see the torchlight flickering underneath. You do hear muffled voices. Can't determine what they're saying. You don't know how many, but there's definitely someone or something in this room.
And I quietly say, Buckers, I think this time it's my eyes that are working better than my bloody ears. There's something moving around in there. I'm not sure whether the door's locked or unlocked. Do you want me to just give it a try?
Quietly.
Oh, there's that horrid baby behind that door again. I heard that.
Sounds like he was eating something, like having dinner.
All right. So how can I try that without opening it?
You can try the door. You don't have to click on it or anything. You try the door without opening it, and you grab, like, it's got one of those ring handles. You know you've got to turn it one way to release the opening mechanism, and you grab it as softly and quiet as you can. You turn it, and it gives. Like, you don't open it fully to make it sort of give any kind of noise, but it gives enough to know that it's not locked.
Okay. So I'll pass this back down. It's not locked. So we're going to run in the room, surprise,
Yeah.
try and sneak through. What do you reckon, guys?
Gundren sort of whispers to you guys, I don't think it matters. As soon as you open that door, whoever's in there's going to know that we're there. So you can rush in, try and do it quietly. I don't think it makes much difference.
I say we try and be quiet. I mean, if your other brother's in there, as you think he is, maybe it'll give us the edge to sort of get him safe. I'm sure that matters to you, Gundren.
Well, he will be my priority, I'm afraid. If he's there, I'll be trying to get him to safety, and then as soon as he's in a safe area, I'd come back and aid you best I can. But if he's no there, then I'll fight beside you.
Right. Well, Grimshaw, you stay here for a hot second, and we'll see if we can get in there quiet. If we can't, then come in axe blazing, mate.
What? You got it. So he posts himself up in this position, sort of around, like in a position where you can sort of peek around the corner and see what's going on.
I'm going to open the door, guys.
So as you open the door, you swing it open. What you see initially is a room. It's faintly lit. You got the torches flickering in the corners. You got 6 cracked marble pillars line the walls. At the north end stands a large statue, about 9-10 feet tall, of a dwarf seated on a throne. mighty stone hammer laid across his lap, large emeralds in his eyes. There's dust and debris that cover the floor. It looks like it's been swept aside, and in one area you can see there's a fire going with some bedrolls laid around it. You've got the torches lit in the walls. To one end, right up the top end here, you see 3 figures. They haven't really noticed you as yet. At this sort of this moment you've opened the door, they haven't really noticed anything. But what you see, it looks like to you, a couple of bugbears, and they flank a tall, slender individual, dark hood, carrying a staff. The staff is evident. You can't see much more than that from this distance, but you could only guess that this is this sorcerer that everyone's been talking about. As you, what is your intention? You rushing in, or you just walking in? Because at this particular moment, just the opening of the door, they haven't seemed to have noticed.
We're gonna try and go in quietly until we can see where everything is, I think.
Pretty much got a good lay of the room from where you are. You can definitely see a hallway here. As I said, you've got torches and it's fairly well lit, so you can generally see the bulk of the room from your position. And from what you can see, it's only these 3 individuals in this room so far.
And those pillars, do they go from floor to ceiling, or
floor
are
to ceiling,
they're
yeah.
floor to ceiling? Okay.
If I haven't done it, I probably should have, and I probably should have walled them that way. But they are floor to ceiling.
I know, just I thought they might have been like cut off for like a pedestal sort of deal with something that might have been on top of them. So something I could have got on top of.
Yeah, I'm going to actually just wall them, so it'll give you the idea. So it will give you cover if you happen to be behind one of them.
Well, I suppose we walk in and then we get to where we need to go and then announce our intentions, and if we're all in the room, we can go from there. What do you think?
I ain't seen a dwarf.
Yeah, true.
Sort of Gundren sort of peers in and whispers there, Nori. And it's probably about this point that, with this little bit of discussion, all of you, well, those in the doorway, probably not Grimshaw, but those in the doorway, you see the cloaked individual turn and face the door and you. He sort of turns in your general direction. This bugbear moves to flank him on this side. The other sort of standing behind him. Well, it seems that I must deal with you myself. It's a pity it must end this way. But here you are, nonetheless. Is that you, Arcos? I see hiding behind the feathered individual. Should have expected you, of course. I thought you may have survived.
Another one of those fucking runners. Are you gonna stand fight this time?
Did I run the last time we faced? If I remember correctly, was it not you that fled? Perhaps this time will be different. I should have dispatched you then. I did not think you would hold a grudge. Seems I was mistaken.
Sometimes mistakes cost very dearly.
Indeed. And yours coming here will definitely cost a great price. And with that, as the other bugbear sort of moves out into sort of trying to get a better position on where he is, At this time, we will just give me 1 second. Just gotta do a couple of things here. Just gotta grab everybody, and we will go into initiative for possibly the final time of this campaign. Roll the NPCs, roll Grimshaw. Zoom that one out so I can see what I'm doing. Alrighty, so once again, Arcos getting the top of the initiative here. So no surprise round, as obviously he is either A, expecting you, or heard you, or just knew you were coming. Arcos, you get the initiative in this particular moment, as you've got a fair whack of distance to cover. But it is your turn.
Play it smart, Arcos, and I'll step around. Who? Ooh, hooty hoo! And I grab my bow off my back, and I'm like, "Let me improve your fucking face." I grab my bow out, and I'm gonna try and stick an arrow in his face.
Target him and attempt to stick an arrow in thy face.
In thy face hole.
The arrow. Did you target him? You did target him. Why did that?
He's
That's weird,
targeted
no?
it.
It's hit him. It just didn't roll damage. Interesting.
Son of bitch.
So you should better roll the damage from your. Oh, hang on. Did I? No, I started the combat. You definitely targeted him.
Yeah, it doesn't have a damage thing on it though.
If you go into your weapon, you got damage? No, it hasn't. Your damage should be the short bow +1. Why? Oh, hang on. I know why. Which one did you roll? Just the straight short bow or the short bow plus? Oh, it is a straight short bow. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah. It's only my short swords are the +1s.
Why did that not roll damage? 1d6 plus your dex mod.
1d6.
It's weird that didn't roll.
5 plus
Your dex, I believe, is +4.
+4.
The
So
9 points of damage. He's going to use a reaction. What is it? 23. That's not going to work anyway, so he's not going to worry about that. He's going to take the damage. He takes 9 points of the piercing damage as the arrow strikes him. Probably in the upper torso somewhere, top of the shoulder. He takes it, rocks him back a little bit. Ugh. A nice shot. Let's hope we get another. As he breaks it off. Is that your turn? Because you do not get an offhand attack because you used the bow.
Pretty sure the wording of that doesn't work. I'm going to, knowing that he's a magic user, not clump up in the doorway. So
Probably
I'm going
a good
to
idea.
crest the wall to about there, I think.
No problem. And is that your turn?
That would be my turn. I'll let you end it so I don't
Yeah, no
cause
worries.
a thing.
Probably easier if I do it. It is now this particular bugbear's turn, and he sort of, you see him flexing. Goes, right, let's do this. and he will take a stroll forward. Not going to quite get to you, but he's going to get to there. He's going to target you, and he's going to yoink a javelin at you. And he hits you, dealing 10 points of piercing damage as a large javelin smashes you in the chest, sending you back against the wall. I believe that's all he gets. It is his turn. Grimshaw's turn. He's sort of peering around the corner. Says, "Bucket!" and rages and tears into the room. He gets a bit more movement, not that he needs it. He rushes straight up to this dude, seeing him biff the javelin, sort of as he comes in, turns to see you with a javelin sticking out of you as you remove it. And he just, motherfucker! And he targets this individual. Raging strikes with his great axe, hitting him with a 19, dealing max damage, 17 damage with his second attack. Not so lucky on the second, however. Missing, but doing substantial amount of damage to begin with. And he sort of looks over his shoulder at you and sort of just gives you a nod. And that is his turn. Next up is this bugbear's turn. He's going to move to here, also not bunching up because he's not stupid. He is going to move to there. He's got one more movement. He can target you. Ooh, and he's going to yoink a javelin at you. He will also hit, doing 6 points of piercing damage to you as he leans back, hoiks a javelin directly at you, clipping you in the wing, sort of sending you almost spinning as he does so. It is now your turn, Who.
I'm going to, the one I've just targeted, I'm going to hit with Guiding Bolt.
Go for it. Guiding Bolt away. See, that one also didn't automatically roll damage. I think it missed anyway, but maybe that's why it didn't roll damage. Interesting.
Now, as I have a bonus action, I'm going to put out, I'm pretty sure I can do this.
Your
Correct me if
spiritual
I'm wrong.
weapon?
Spiritual weapon.
You can. I'm assuming you want it about there.
Yes, please.
And you get to attack with that as well. From memory?
Yep.
That's part of your bonus action.
And
Did we put
I
that
roll
in
that
your...
from, I've got to remember where I need to roll it from.
Sure, we put it in...
Let me see if it works from here. No, it's not that one.
Hang on. Inventory.
in the-
Spectral weapon is what it's called.
It's in the HUD.
Yeah, it's called spectral weapon.
Condition gauge. Where's my HUD not?
Hang on. I'll bring your HUD up and see what we got. It's Toll the Dead. I can put it into your HUD though.
It's done that weird thing again and just given me the icon outside it.
Yeah, don't click on your weapon. Click on you. I'll put it in your inventory. So use your HUD, not the HUD of the weapon.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, I've done it that way, and I think I've given it range, so it should work.
There we go.
Details. If it doesn't work, yeah, I've given it range, so let me know if that works.
See? Used feature. No, it's not. I can't find it. Oh,
It's
cast
under your
spell.
weapons in your inventory.
Oh, there it is. Duh.
There we go. There we go. We got there in the end. So it misses, unfortunately.
Okay, and I'm going to move just inside the door.
No worries. You can move yourself. You should be good. And with that, it is the end of your turn.
Just going to straighten myself up so that I'm facing the right way.
So now this is his turn. And as part
Can
of...
you put me against... Sorry, Evil, can you put me against the wall facing out? It's... Yeah, because the selection changed. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no worries. With this dude's turn, you see him wave, picks up his wand and waves his wand, and dropping from the ceiling next to you, Who, and one over here, two giant wolf spiders, as they just drop from the ceiling out of the darkness. And he grins, looks over at you, Arcos, and he is going to target you, because he doesn't like you very much. Helpful, I actually targeted him and I targeted you instead of having you target yourself. And he is going to cast... what's the range on that? I believe he can get you with that. The range is correct. 30 feet. I believe he can get there with 30 feet. Let's double check. Nope, just outside his range. He's not going to cast that, but he is going to go this way instead. And he's going to cast three magic missiles snaking across the room, and dark magic snaking around. You see it sort of snake around behind Grim, and sort of snakes around and slams into you. So you're going to take 5 points of damage for that twice. Did I do it twice?
Nope.
We'll undo, and then we'll go times 2. There we go.
Yep.
So you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage from these missiles that just snake around and slam into your chest. That is his turn. It's now Gundren's turn. He surges forward into the room, spies the spider and thinks, "Oh, fuck me!" and turns and targets the spider. And he is going to make his attack at the Spooder with his battle axe, rolling a natural 20 on his attack, dealing massive amounts of damage to the old Spooder. He gets his second attack. Why does he have that on? He shouldn't have aura of protection. He's not a paladin. Turn that off. But he does get a second attack, which also hits the spider, dealing another 8 points of damage. Not killing it, but it's not looking too healthy. And he sort of for a rock seeker, I'll get you for this, you fucking sparmy bastard. Where's my brother? And that is his turn. Now it is Youngblood's turn.
I'll walk in, see what's going on.
So you walk in the door, you got a big Spooder here, there's a bugbear here, there's another bugbear here, another big Spooder in the back of the room there, and you can see the caster all the way back here.
How close can I get to the caster?
You've only got a maximum of 30 feet of movement. You can dash, which will get you to him, but you won't be able to attack. So from where
Would
you
I
were,
Sorry, I'm not very good at this.
yeah, that's about as far as you can go with your current movement.
No, okay. Yeah, maybe all I can do is use my whip then.
Well, you can get close to these guys. You can get to here, or you can get round. You can probably get round to here as
I
well.
thought you meant I couldn't walk any further. But
Yeah, no.
like,
Your maximum distance brings you up to about there. So you got plenty of movement to get to these guys, the two bugbears.
I don't know what to do.
6 seconds. Make a decision.
Oh, grim.
Right. So target that individual and swing away.
Oh, you bitch.
Longsword unfortunately misses.
Fucking roll from the 20 on me.
It was close. It was very close. So unfortunately you
turn.
miss. That is your turn, I believe. Next up is this spooder. This moves, skitters across the floor, putting itself in between its master and its enemy. That is its turn. Back to the top with Arcos. You got a room full of people now. You've got Grimshaw and Youngblood dealing with the bugbear in front of you. You've got Gundren Rockseeker and Who, bugbear and a spider over there. You've seen the spiders spawn. You've felt the blow of the sorcerer, and you are quite a distance away from him still.
Yeah. So as I pull out the javelin, I'm like, that really fucking hurt. I'll like sort of slowly move towards the bugbear, and I'm gonna target myself because that's what I do.
It seems to be a thing with you.
It is, and I'm gonna target him
With advantage.
stab.
You got flanking easily enough. There's multiple of you there. Double 11s. Still
Double
hits.
11s.
Still hits. Doing 6 points of damage.
And then some sneak attack damage.
Sneak attack. Doing some more damage. Killing this individual as you... well, you can describe how you kill him. How do you attack with your attack and sneak attack damage?
So, pull out the javelin, hoof it to the side, move slowly at first because he's fucking hurt, and then just sort of leans in and jams it where I'm assuming a loincloth meets his groin and just runs it through the side.
I mean, he's wearing a little bit more armor than that, but yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean,
just
same thing applies.
in the femoral artery.
Yeah.
He's not going to stab him in the. I mean, he's got some class.
Yeah, so you find, you know where that artery is. You're a rogue. You know what you're doing, and you just slowly reach forward and just pull the sword back, opening up that femoral artery, and you watch his eyes go wide as the blade opens up the wound, and then within seconds, the brightness from the eyes, the life in the eyes dulls, and he slumps down to his knees and then falls forward as his lifeblood literally drains in seconds.
I'll sort of drag the sword out of him, and it sort of like drops straight to my side. I haven't got the energy to hold it up.
No worries.
And I'm like, I'll be back, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to hide on the other side of this pillar.
We will, yeah, you definitely can do that. I will get you to roll this for me, though.
Yep.
Even though you're technically not hidden on the map, you can definitely get behind that pillar and between the pillar and the wall. That's a good roll, 25. As far as you're aware, you are hidden, good sir.
Cool.
That is your turn. So, next up, Dead Bugbear is not his turn. So, we have Grimshaw. He turns in a rage, gives you a bit of a wink. Youngblood, surges past you straight into this other bugbear here, and targets him. And he's going to attack him twice with his axe. First one hitting with a 25. 7 points of slashing damage, the double-handed axe. His second attack also hits with a 22, doing a further 9 points of slashing damage. Not enough to put him down, but he's hurt, to say the least. He's not looking good. He's definitely got a few nasty wounds. That is Grimshaw's turn. Next up is the bugbear's turn. He's going to return the favour. He's going to target Grimshaw and this time attack him with a Morning Star. Large Morning Star. Missing Grimshaw, however. I don't know if they get 2 attacks. No, they don't. What does he get with Brute? Oh, damn. Okay, so he didn't actually hit. Otherwise he got extra damage. So that's his turn. Hubert, is now your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna Toll of the Dead this guy. This Spooder here.
No worries. Toll of the Dead, the Spooder.
Toll of the Dead, I'm gonna ring his bell.
Ring his bell indeed. He's got a wisdom save to make, which he succeeds, believe it or not.
Damn.
So unfortunately takes no damage. The Spooder
So
seems
with-
unaffected by your Toll of the Dead.
With that spiritual weapon,
You do get
chucking
to attack with that. So you'll have to target something else. Yes, you'll have to
I'm going to
retarget.
attack that buggy bear there
No worries. Attack away.
and give him a whack.
Unfortunately misses with that too. Not
Damn.
having a good time with the old rolls there, who, as your spectral weapon finds nothing but Morning Star as the bugbear defends himself.
Okay, and that's, yeah,
That's you.
I'll be back, Jax. 1 sec. No.
I'm done.
Next up, it is the caster's turn, the sorcerer. He grins and he simply says out loud, "I thought you not a coward, Arcos. Seems I may have been mistaken. Hiding in the shadows. I see you." As it appears that, well, whether he sees you or not, you don't know, but that's what you hear nonetheless. What he is going to do, however, he's going to move to here, and he's going to target Grimshaw with this, with suggestion spell. Grimshaw has to make a wisdom save, which he passes. Well done. I didn't expect him to pass that. Wow, interesting. Seems in Grimshaw's rage, he is unaffected by whatever spell this particular enchanter was trying to cast. Now let's see if he's got a bonus action here. No, he's gonna stay where he is for now. That is his turn. It is Gundren's turn. And he retargets this. He's targeting the Spooder. Battle axe out, swings away, hitting the spider, dispatching it in a single blow. Turning on his heels to aid Grimshaw. And his second attack, missing unfortunately. But he does sort of, whoop, shit, move that out of the way. He does scoot around, sort of not moving out of his range, but just scoots around him to get into a better position for next attack. That is his turn. JJ, Youngblood, it is now your turn. So for you, you got a thing there, you got a thing here, you got the sorcerer up here, so you could reach the sorcerer if you wish. Unless you want to smush the bugbear.
I have the bugbear, have a wink at Shaw, back at Shaw, and I'm going to use my tombstone.
Oh, you're going to use your
I don't know where it
tombstone.
is.
So, okay, so target him first. And I believe we put it under...
I looked at all my bonuses and stuff, I couldn't find it.
How did we know? Has it reset? Okay, I can re-add it. It's not a problem.
Oh, JJ didn't use that last time, so we may not have noticed that it was taken out like it did to mine.
I haven't used it in a while. Haven't
So-
had a good enough time to.
Oh no, it's there. It's called Brain Dead. It's under your features. You've got Falling in Reverse and Brain Dead.
Which feature is it? I looked at all the used feature parts, I couldn't find
No,
it.
you go into your tab, you go to Features and scroll down, and it's under Active Abilities. So you got background, classes, and then active abilities, and it's you'll see them above your fighting styles. It's all in alphabetical order.
Is that in the hub?
I can put it in the HUD for you. Give me 1 second.
I can look on the page thing if you want.
I don't think we put it in your HUD, but I can. Makes it nice
It
and easy.
was before. No, it's
Yeah.
fine. I can do it
I
this
can,
way.
I can put it in your HUD. It's too easy.
So I was looking in the HUD. I knew it was in the page, just not sure how to use the page properly as well.
So I've added them both to your HUD. One's next to your whip and one's next to your offhand attack, so you can do it that way.
I can't remember which one's which. Which
Falling,
one's falling first?
falling reverse. Falling reverse is the backbreaker. Brain Dead's your tombstone.
That's right. Sorry.
So you'll have to target
Been a
him.
while.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's all
targeted
good.
already.
Yep. So then you should be able to click on that. There we go. Got a strength check for him, and he succeeds on a natural 20. So how did we? I think just give me a quick. I got to read it. It's been a while since we used it.
I think it's like half damage or something.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. I just got to double check. So what you guys see is you reach out and grabs a target. You attempt to crush this skull. The target must make a strength save. On the failed save, to take 1d12 damage. On a successful save, the target escapes your grasp and takes no damage.
Oh damn!
So he is able to evade your grapple, unfortunately, and is not grabbed and has managed to avoid your damage. You can use that one more time, though. However, on a short rest, so you have got another use of that at some point, but not right now.
Yeah.
Because I believe that took up your action. I think we decided that was going to be.
Yeah, it's all action.
It is an action. Yeah. So you've got a bonus
Oh.
action, and if you wish.
I don't think much bonus actions I can really
I don't
use.
think you have any bonus actions.
Not really.
Short of
Action surge,
you've got hidden step.
fighting style.
Well, action surge gives you another action, so you can do that again.
Yeah.
Your bonus action's your action surge, which gives you another action, so you could literally do Brain Dead again if you want to.
Yeah, fuck it. It's the last battle.
So use action surge. Done. Now you can use Brain Dead again. So target him and recast Brain Dead one more time.
Come on. What's it?
Max damage, so that's good. He fails this time. You reach out the first time, you grab him, he's a little slippery, manages to get out of your grasp. This time, however, you summon all of your energy, your adrenaline is at max. And you think, fuck it. And you reach out and you scoop up one arm. You grab him around the head and you just flip him almost in a single moment. Flip him upside down. Grab him around the waist. And you just look at both Gundren and Grimshaw and you just grin from ear to ear almost insanely. And then you drop to your knees, smashing his head into the cobblestone below. And he will take 12 points of damage, which is enough, believe it or not, to kill him. Once again, as you smash his skull into the ground, that sickening thud followed by the soft crack and squelch of brain matter and skull as it's destroyed against the cobblestones. You drop the body forward as you sort of push yourself back up to your feet. And he is dead. And that is your turn.
Yep.
Well done. Next up is this other giant spider, who happens to move right in behind you as you're doing your thing, and it targets you, Youngblood. I'm just going to move the spiritual weapon over here because it's annoying me being underneath you. Targets you, and it's going to use its bite attack on you. Misses you, however. It does get... No, it's going to stay there. Arcos, from your hidden position, it seems, you heard what the sorcerer said to you. You're still not sure whether he actually knows where you are or not, but you heard what he said. It is your turn.
Cowardly, coming from you, that's fucking rich. And I'm going to drink my potion of invisibility.
Ah, I knew you was saving that for the right moment.
Yeah, so I've targeted myself and I will use it so it's used.
No worries.
I'm assuming
it will make
won't
you
do anything?
It won't do anything, no. But it will make you invisible. I mean, I can make you invisible, but I don't think you can see yourself if I make you invisible. But for all intents and purposes, you are now invisible.
And I will move.
You're invisible for an hour until you either attack, cast a spell, or take damage.
Cool. When I move like this, it counts my steps.
It does, yes.
Bonus action dash. And I will move some more.
No worries.
There.
Not a problem. Is that your turn? Do you intend to do anything from this position?
No, because I used my action to drink the potion, I'm assuming,
did,
and I used my
yes.
bonus action to dash. So no, I'm just
No
gonna.
worries, that is you. Okie dokie.
Yep.
Next up is Grimshaw. He moves himself into position to attack the Spooder. He targets said Spooder with his battle axe, rolling another natural 20. Dealing 26 points of damage with a single blow, hitting the floor with a loud clang of steel on stone, splitting the spider in half, and then turns and looks at the sorcerer, takes another step forward, targets the sorcerer as he has one more attack up his sleevey, and swings away. 16 for a 22, doing 17 points of damage. However, the sorcerer if it's gonna do it, there we go, throws his hands up as the attack comes in, and you see an arcane shield appear around him, The axe shears off the shield, sparks against the arcane energy, and veers off, missing the target. And you just hear pitiful. And that is Grimshaw's turn. It is now whose turn?
Okay, I need to get into a better position, so I'm going to move to
Isaac killed the party
here.
yet. No. That would have been Zankus if he was there. Right. Better position. No
This
worries.
guy. So would I be aware of what this shield is being?
You would know what it is. You would have seen it before. You would have heard about it in your studies. You are unable to cast the said spell, but you do know it as a shield spell. So you do know his armor is now much higher, much harder to hit. I mean, you can
And
still
does
potentially
it,
hit
what,
him. But
like deflections and stuff like that.
it will just essentially increases his armor by 5.
Okay.
So you just know that it's going to be a lot harder to hit him right now. So it's up
Okay,
to
I'm
you
going
what
to
you do.
use. I've targeted him. I'm going to use. Where are we? Moonbolt.
No worries. Cast away. Moonbolt dealing. So I remember what Moonbolt does.
It's 1d4 radiant damage on a hit.
Because it rolled the damage but didn't roll the hit. I'm not sure if I think it might be. Was it something similar to? I'll find it so I can read it.
I think it's similar to Blood Bolt, but it doesn't take the damage on me with Blood Bolt.
Moonbolt strikes out against any living or undead creature of your choice in range. Range spell attack on a hit takes 1d4 damage. So why didn't it roll the hit? It just rolled the damage. Now let me have a look here. One action, radiant, condition, 400 feet range. Holy crap. Oh, I think I know why. Spellcasting. Action type other. Ranged with ranged spell attack. That was my bad. I'll get you to roll that again. I will give you that spell slot back.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second. I'll give you the spell slot back and then I'll get you to roll it again. Try that. And it should actually roll to hit this time. Here we go. Unfortunately, it misses. Not quite high enough.
Okay, so I want to get my. I can move my spiritual weapon closer.
You can move it 20
I'm still
feet.
not sure exactly. I'm still not sure exactly how it works. Spiritual weapon.
Yeah, so
Okay, so I'm gonna.
yeah, you can move it up to 20 feet as a bonus action and attack.
And attack. Okay,
Yes.
well I'm going to attack with that as well.
Yeah. Again, finds nothing but the arcane shield as it just glances off this spectral shield that you can see circling this caster, this individual.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I promise.
I'm trying too.
And yeah,
I hate fucking
that's-
casters.
And that's done for me.
And now it is his turn once again. He is going to. He's going to try again on this particular spell, and he's going to target Grimshaw once again. Grimshaw will need to make a wisdom saving throw. 19. God damn it. Natural, dirty 20. Again, shrugging off the like he makes the motions and Grimshaw just grims at him. You ain't getting in here. There's nothing up here, mate. And just essentially grimaces at him. And with that, he'll wave his hand and do something else that you guys don't know what he's doing. But
Just hands.
that is the
Yeah,
end
and
of that is the end
and I
of
look
his turn.
towards him when he's waving his hands, and I go
Oh,
back
shit.
at him.
Supposed to do that, and as his turn comes to an end, you see that shield slowly drop and fade. However, you do kind of know what happened, because as he waves his hand out of the ceiling, dropping to there is another giant spider dropping in between you, Boo, and him. And I believe...
Don't tell me it's a fucking bird spider.
it's a bird-eating spider. That's what it is.
Damn.
We've got a rabbit-eating spider on Arcos. As two more of these giant spiders appear and pretty much drop out of the ceiling. So, that is... now it's Gundren's turn. Gundren sort of sees this and thinks, fucking spiders! And he rocks on up. Gets right up close and personal with this one. Targets it. And attacks with his battle axe. Hitting it. Dealing 11 points of slashing damage. And with his second attack, rolls a 15. Also hitting it with a dirty 20. Dealing another 9 points of damage. That is his turn. Spooder's turn. Targets you. Actually, no, it's going to target Gundren, as he was the last one that attacked it. Yeah. He's going to try and bite him. Going to bite him good. Hits him. Does 7 points of damage. And Gundren will also need to make a Constitution save, which he fails. Takes a further 11 points of poison damage. He's not looking too bad, but he's not happy. That is his turn. Youngblood, it's your turn.
Even though he sees the spiders and stuff, he walks straight up to the magical fucking guy. I can't remember his fucking name.
You don't know
Did we
his name.
work out
You
if
don't
I'm
know
allowed
his
to
name.
use both? That's right then. Can I use both the wrestling moves, or do we work out one each?
It's only
short
one.
rest?
It's you. You can. You've used that one. I think
So can I use both the moves, or is
I
it only
think
one
you can
short
only
rest?
use two, either one. So you've used that twice, so you can no longer use falling in reverse.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Wasn't
you've
quite
used
sure.
both. Yeah, you've used your special ability twice in a short rest. So it was either once on each or twice on the same.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I
So
wasn't quite sure
yeah,
what action surge did, if it was like reversed or not, whatever.
yeah. Action surge
Okay.
just gives you an extra action for that turn.
Extra action, yeah.
Yep. So yeah. So you
I'll just walk up to him anyway and use the sword then.
Yep. So unfortunately, your uses of falling in reverse and brain dead have been expended.
Oh, good. Just double check.
Yep. No, it's all good.
I will use my sword on him instead. And miss. Maybe.
No, you hit him.
No, cool.
You do hit him, doing 7 points of slashing damage. And he's not happy about his current position. You can see sort of his eyes darting from left to right, trying to figure out where his next move comes from. So that is you, Youngblood.
Is the fighting style grapple me grappling him so he can't move?
Yes, but that'll also that'll cost you an action to grapple.
I thought it was a bonus action.
No. You grab your fighting
Okay.
style is your fighting style. So your fighting style is wrestler, which
Yep.
means you can grapple him, but it's part of your action because it requires a strength check.
Okay.
So as your
Oh,
action, instead of attacking him, you can try and restrain him and grapple him if you want to.
Yeah, okay. I'll have my turn there then.
Yep. Arcos, we're back to the top. It is your turn. As the giant spooder drops out, you're not sure if it knows where you are, but it's dropped out right next to you. You are still currently invisible.
Arcos doesn't give a fuck. He
I kind of figured.
He steps forward one.
You will get advantage on this attack, not only because you're invisible, but you've got allies all around him. So advantage, sneak attack, all the doofer.
Right.
Chat, don't forget your channel points. You can give these guys advantage if you want to. It's in the channel
Double
points.
11s again?
Double 11s, dude.
Damn.
You hit him, however. So you do hit him. You do only do 6 points of damage. So roll the sneak attack. That's the second time you've rolled double 11s. Oh, double ones on
Double
the sneak
ones.
attack. No way. No way. You can impose chat. You can impose a disadvantage to the DM or an advantage to the players, and these habits. So just be aware of that, guys. Yeah. So offhand attack
Yeah.
will also be an advantage. You're no longer invisible, however.
Yeah.
You do hit with a 24, but you will only do 4 points of damage. But he's looking a little worse for wear. You can see he's now that you've sort of appeared. He sort of turns over his shoulder, and you can see the panic in his eyes now. He's not looking good. He's surrounded. He's not happy. Is that your turn, Arcos?
Yeah, I'll leave my cheeky talk for later.
Next up is Grimshaw. Grimshaw looks over the caster's shoulder at you, almost looking for approval to finish him. You can see like he's raging still. His eyes are bulging, and he still waits for like a split second, looking directly at you for approval to finish this once and for all.
Arcos sort of stops and thinks about it, and then he just nods.
So what that means for this particular individual is not good. Grimshaw is going to go. He's already raging, but he's going to attack in such a way which gives him advantage, and will also give him a extra damage on his damage. So he's attacking recklessly. So he's got advantage on his next two attacks, but any attack against him on his next turn has advantage against him also. But he'll do extra damage. He does 11. Oh, I halved it, dumbass. Went the other way. Went supposed to go that way. 22 points of damage with a single blow. As he raises his axe high, he grins. He looks at you. You give him the nod, and he raises that axe as high as he can. And you see him tense all his muscles. He changes the grip on his axe. He changes his foot stance, and he comes down on a slight angle. The heavy blow. The axe sinks into the clavicle and shoulder bone of this sorcerer. You hear that bone snap with the force of the blade. You then hear the gurgling sound as the blade then buries another 2 or 3 inches into the upper torso, snapping ribs on its way through. And Grimshaw stands and holds the axe there, holding this guy up as he gurgles and sputters. Right, pretty much where you are, Arcos, the hand clutching the staff, the blackened staff with the spider on the top. The hand goes slack, and the staff swings back towards you, clatters to the floor. Or if you catch it, if you want to, it's up to you. But it literally swings back in your direction.
Yeah. So I'll pop out a hand and catch it, and look up at him, and I'll say, Rolo Cotton says, go fuck yourself.
And his eyes roll back in his head, and he's still standing, held there by the axe, still embedded in his upper torso, as Grimshaw just holds it there, breathing heavily, snorting from his nostrils. The spiders, both of them, sort of relax as Arcos, you now currently holding the black staff. They don't seem to be moving in any kind of aggressive manner. In fact, they back off a little bit from you, as if they were under some form of control from perhaps the staff. I mean, I would assume Arcos is probably intelligent enough to put two and two together, as this large spider sort of just takes a couple of small steps back and almost sits down, almost like a tame animal, sitting sort of non-aggressively on its haunches. And that will end our combat. We will do this. Badoosh. You can add your XP. We also have a bunch of loot here as well. We will stop our battle music. Grimshaw, his rage slowly subsides as he yanks the axe from the body of this person, as you've all known as the Black Spider was the name given to him. Arcos, you'd probably know him by his real name. Nizar, I think his name was. Niznar would have been the name you would have probably known him as. The others definitely didn't know that name. There's a couple of javelins here. There's a Morning Star, mundane shield. There is obviously this staff. On this caster's person is on the table, should I say, I dare say you'd be looking around. Gundren's probably the first to see it, in fact, is the true map of this cabin, laying out the ley lines, laying out the minerals and the ore that could be found here and where to find it. Shows it's got other documents with it, schematics for the forge, whole bunch of documentation which would have been needed to start this mine producing again. And you can almost hear the joy in his voice as he finds it, and then he sort of snaps to it a little bit and thinks, have any of you seen my brother anywhere around here? He's got to be here somewhere.
There's a passageway that way, maybe.
Are you alright? You don't look too good.
Pretty fucked up.
I'm gonna use Cure Wounds on Arcos.
No worries. No need to cast it. We're pretty much at that end of the story that we can dispense with the actual casting of it. You cast your Cure Wounds, which actually cast it. Why not? We'll see how much you bring him back to. Youngblood took virtually no damage. You took a little bit of damage. Even Grimshaw seems to be not too bad. Gundren is not bad, but he's... so you... 14 points of healing. Nice.
June.
That brings you up to
I
25.
roll the big numbers.
So you're feeling much better, Arcos, indeed. And indeed, you, if you guys want to actually move to the next room, we'll bring Gundren over there as we're sort of working around. They find this door; it's unlocked. You do move into the next room, and lying on the floor, indeed, in the next room, is the body of a dwarf, unmoving. You see Gundren's face sort of not light up, but his eyes widen as he sees the unmoving body of a dwarf near the bed across the room. He scoots across the room, and kneels down beside this dwarf and sort of raises his head, brings his ear to his nose and mouth to see if he's still breathing, and then you see almost an instant relaxing of the shoulders, and he lets out a sigh. He's still breathing. Thank the gods. And he reaches into his pouch and grabs a small vial and pours a potion of some sort into his brother's mouth, bringing him back to consciousness. He sort of sits there for a moment, and his brother's eyes flicker open, and he sort of looks up and sees his brother's face, and you get he doesn't say anything. He's too weak to speak, but you see the look of recognition and the look of relief to see a familiar face and a family member. And Gundam says, "Don't speak, brother. We'll get you some help. We've done it. We have it. We have the maps. We have the paperwork. These fine people have helped us. We'll be able to. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll be able to do what we said we'd do." And he then turns and looks at you all, and just the look, you can see the tears welling up in his eyes, although he's trying to fight those tears back. He's a dwarf. Dwarves don't cry. Like he doesn't want to sort of let that tear drop, but you can see the relief in his face, the gratitude of what you guys have achieved here. I'll honour my promise. 10% shares in this here mine is yours. You're all going to be rich. You'll be able to do whatever you want. It'll take some time to get it going, but you have my word. The word of a rock seeker is never broken. I hope you found peace here, Arcos.
A little bit. I know what I want to do right now. And he walks out of the room, and he's holding the staff, and he walks to the spider, and he tentatively sees if the spider will let him climb on top of one of them.
I think we're looking at an animal handling check here. That's what I think we're looking at. Let's just select you for a second. You still got the staff in hand, yeah?
Yep.
I mean, technically you got to be attuned to it, but we'll see what happens.
Hey.
So roll an animal handling check for me. I mean, it's definitely not
well.
attacking you, but it's not. That's actually not too bad. With a 15, you reach out your hand and you sort of tap it tentatively on the head, and it doesn't respond. It's not a dog or a cow or a horse. It's not a furry animal. It's not going to lean into it. Doesn't really respond. So do you attempt to climb on top of it? I mean,
Yeah, fuck it.
it's a medium creature. You sort of awkwardly try and position yourself over the top of the sort of the upper thorax, where it sort of meets the head meets the body kind of thing, or the butt meets the body. It's the thinnest part. And you sort of sit there for a moment, and it feels really weird. It's super strange to be sitting on top of a spider. And I would say probably that uncomfortable that you really don't want to be there that long. It just feels odd. And when you are there, it sort of does move a little bit, and the balancing's weird. I can get the idea that if this thing took off, because they can move pretty quick, you're not going to stay on there very long. There's not much to hold on to. It's odd. It just feels creepy as fuck. But you managed to climb on top for a bit before I'd say you get a little bit uneasy about the whole thing.
He sort of slides off. He's like, "We'll work on that. I'll walk. Let's go fuck some shit up." And I walk out and try and get them to follow me to fuck up the shit down the right end of the way.
So you walk towards the door. I mean, everyone else, whatever you're doing, Gundren sort of helps his brother up, and sort of realizing that there may still be things here, sort of says to you guys, I think the rest will cut bait and run, but just in case, we'll take my brother to the next room here, get him set with some water and some food, and we'll go clear out the rest of this mine. Didn't you say something about some beastie that needed to be set free? probably should deal with that too, I guess. Um,
Yeah, it's been here for a very long time, and it requested when we came across it that it be released
so
because it's been here forever.
we'll definitely sort that out.
It
Let's
needs
go
to be
see what
released
else
from its
is.
contract.
We'll go see what else is here first, eh? And as you move back out of the room, Arcos, you walk out of the room with the staff. Spiders don't respond. They don't go. They don't move. They don't move towards you. I mean, again, you got a reasonable intelligence. You don't know much about magic, but you're assuming that this staff needs either a magician, a sorcerer, a wizard, someone who actually knows about it and what it does to be able to command these things to do what you want them to do. But you have it nonetheless. It's probably worth. It could be worth a lot of money. You don't know.
Yeah. So when he realizes the spiders aren't going to do what he wants, and have the others come out back into the room,
Yeah, they would have followed out eventually.
he's like, "It's not a giant spider, but it's close." And he slams the stuff on his floor, and he's like, "Grimshaw, this way."
And Grimshaw sort of looks at you, looks at the rest of the group, shrugs his shoulders, and follows. And with that, no need to go into any more combat for the remainder of this. With that, you take the time. Probably takes you another good few hours to, with the maps, the proper maps now, to slowly go through the areas of this large cabin and remove anyone that shouldn't be there. You find at first you head back the way you came down towards the waterfall. You find a couple of two or three bugbears and another drow, ordering them about down there. And as soon as I would say Grimshaw is going to be the type of person, he would have stopped and removed Niznar's head and taken it with him just for good measure. And the moment you guys sort of come down the stairwell and into that area, and Grimshaw just holds up Niznar's head, tongue lolling out one side, his jaw hanging open, the usual movie thing there. And the drow sort of just looks in shock and instantly looked like he was a fighter or something, puts his weapon down and just says, "Look, I was just paid to be here as with these guys. If you let us live, we will leave and not come back." And they don't attempt to fight. Up to you whether you just murder them or let them live. I mean, they won't. They've laid down their arms, so.
While Grimshaw's doing that, I'm going to reach up and pat him on the back and look at him and go, "So when are we buying this boat, buddy?"
Well, what we've got to get through this first, don't we? And then I suppose he's probably going to want to help, like, getting the shit started. So it might be a while. And it's a ship, not a boat. Like, it's bigger.
Ship.
Like a
It's
boat.
bigger.
Like the boat goes on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that later.
Yeah.
Down the track.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I definitely. You guys are welcome
Ship.
on my ship, anytime.
Did we let him go first, mate, Grimshaw?
Well, they did put down their weapons. So, Captain Puck, I think we should let them go.
Yeah, fuck off with yous.
And if I see you around here again, I'll cut your fucking head off. All right? He grips and calls after them as they scarper. Moving through the cabin, you do find the occasional sort of pocket of rooms that has more undead left inside, but you guys make quick work of them. The use of radiant energies from your cleric and the martial skills from the rest of the group definitely. You do take a little bit of damage as you move through, but you manage to clear out the bulk of the mine. Gundren eventually turns around and says to you guys that's it for the day. Let's head back, find somewhere to camp. We'll head back to Phandelver. Let's celebrate, and we'll do the rest. We'll clear out. I'll organise the clan, and we'll clear out the rest of the mine and get this mine underway. And he offers you all payment, and your payment is far more than what he offered you to begin with. You all receive a large purse holding 100 platinum pieces. as he is more than grateful for you for helping him retrieve the deed and the maps to this mine, and also saving at least one of his brother's lives. He also writes up a formal document for you all, which is a group document that you all sign together, along with him, and witnessed by Sildar Hallwinter, the mayor of Phandelver, for want of a better term. As the person who runs Phandalin, he oversees all the legal documents as well, and he witnesses it and makes it a legal document, giving you 10% ownership collectively of the Wave Echo mine. And once it starts producing, which will take roughly 6 to 12 months before it'll start to produce, but once it starts producing, you guys will receive a steady income from the mine that will have you not need anything for quite some time in your lives. So we will move forward a little bit in the timeline. I'm going to spring this on you guys now because I can, and I'm the DM, and that's what I do. I'm going to going to talk to each one of you, have a quick think about it, while I'm sort of doing this little monologue for Grimshaw. But we're going to move forward 6 to 12 months, maybe 12 months into the future. The mine is producing. You are receiving monthly payments from the mine that are quite substantial. Grimshaw is obviously with Arcos somewhere, or working for Arcos in some capacity as a sailor aboard a vessel. First mate of this vessel, I'm not going to name it. I'm going to leave that up to Grim to name because it's his boat or his ship. Docked in Neverwinter at the moment, taking on supplies before heading off on their next journey. We see Grimshaw standing at the docks, not looking much different than what he was when he was travelling with you guys, except his wounds have healed. He's got some gnarly scars, a few fresh ones from possible incursions upon the sea. His clothing is a little better than what it was previously, however. He does definitely look like a little bit of a pirate. He's got the high sort of boots with big folded over pirate style boots, wearing sort of black cotton pants with a belt, big leather belt with a big belt buckle on it. The old linen shirt unbuttoned halfway down his chest, and he's wearing a large, almost not quite a tricorn hat, but it's more like it's almost like I might say tricorn, but it's got a massive big feather in it, like a stupidly big feather. Big black feather sticking out of it, big fluffy thing, almost French, like the big French feathers, a big pheasant feather. Looks really stupid, but he loves it. He's looking proud of himself. He's got his battle axe thrown across his back, and he's just overseeing some supplies being loaded onto the ship. So we're going to move over to Arcos. Arcos is obviously in Neverwinter with his ship. But what has been up to? What has Arcos and Grimshaw been up to in the last year since the incursions at the Wave Echo mine and said area?
So Arcos obviously procures himself a ship, and he names the ship Moregrave's Revenge, which is after his captain.
Seems fitting.
He convinces Grimshaw that sticking around in Neverwinter is not in his best interests. So while they dock there for a time, he does spend most of his time ported at Waterdeep, a larger city. Hopefully any of his misdemeanors will go unnoticed in such a large place. And he spends the time, which he would tell the other two where they go, that he'll be spending those months procuring the means to slay a dragon.
Ah, indeed. Seems like a fitting task for our heroes. In that case, then we'll now move to Who. What does Who get up to in the 6 to 12 months after leaving Phandelver? Does Who return to Neverwinter to prove his father wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Made my way back through, whatever towns on the way through, staying out of trouble, just looking at life and people and things and stuff, and going back home to prove to the family that, look, didn't have to listen to you, did it, with myself and my friends, and sent a letter out to Arcos on where to meet him, and heading in that direction to meet up for more adventures.
Truly noted. Does Who use his newfound wealth to purchase property in Neverwinter, perhaps? Or is he leaving... is he going to leave Neverwinter permanently?
Undecided at the moment. Wants to settle down, but undecided on exactly where.
Okay, so he stashed his newfound wealth, perhaps, in the
maybe
these banks.
Adventure with the guys for a little bit, and then check out the world.
So we'll say that maybe Who spent at least 3 or 4 months back in Neverwinter, obviously waiting for the mine to produce, making his point known to his family, especially to his father, who I would say is quietly proud of his son, even though he's probably the type of man not to say it. He very strict and wanted you to pursue a different course, obviously. But quietly, I would say, in his own way, is quite proud of what Who has achieved. And as much as he will probably oppose everything that Who does just because he thinks that's his job as Who's father, he is interested to see where Who goes and what adventures is in store for Who next. Next up, we move over to our resident street urchin, Youngblood. So, do you return to Neverwinter? And what do you do if you return to Neverwinter for that 6 or 12 months before deciding what you're going to do?
I do return there. I go to the council, the king, whatever you want to call it, with the money that I got, the 100 platinum, and try to pay off my debt and say sorry for all the robberies and stuff because they'll be after me and all that kind of stuff.
I would say, you definitely sort out your bounty. You have a wee bounty on your head, so yeah, definitely.
Say sorry, that kind of stuff. And then Wise Neverwinter, hopefully his slate's clean and all that kind of stuff. You'll be trying to ask around about his parents.
Okay. For
that 6 to 12 months, just waiting there, trying to find his family.
So I would say that he probably doesn't find any major information. What he does find out with the money, especially with the money he's procured, and what he starts to get after the first 6 months or so, he does find out that both his parents are deceased and have been for quite some time. His mother was a local barkeep. She worked in a local bar serving drinks. Like, they didn't have lots of money. His father died when he was relatively young. He wasn't very old, maybe early, like 2 or 3 years old. His mother got herself into a little bit of trouble, it seems, which is why Youngblood ended up on the streets. She couldn't pay her debts that she owed, and eventually disappeared and wound up dead somewhere. She was found dead in the city, but the facts surrounding her death are hazy. There wasn't much information about it, but they know that she was found in the city dead. Turns out that Youngblood has a half-brother in the city, however, somewhere. It's possible that he still lives in the city. There was no name. He is part Furbolg, however, and does have a very similar look to Youngblood, it seems. A little bit of the underground that Youngblood's been a part of, with a little bit of investigation that he made, and a bit of greasing palms with gold, loosened a few lips, and it turns out that Youngblood has family somewhere. possibly still in Neverwinter. Not 100% sure. But it's definitely a he, half-brother, probably about 2 or 3 years younger than Youngblood.
With everything flowing through, you'll leave that information and not go with it, like try to find him.
Yep.
Feels like that it's gone, it's just too late. He just wanted to know what's going on type deal.
Yeah.
He'll try to meet up with Bugs and that, see if he can join the fleet and just go on the sea. He just wants to forget type deal.
I would say that Arcos would be more than happy to have Who and Youngblood aboard the vessel for an adventure.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
they're
he
looking
wants
at
to-
dragon slaying, then hey, you never know.
He'll go find them and that kind of stuff. No one really knows his parents are dead. He's got a half brother, but he just feels it's too late. He's found new family type deal. He just wants to hang out with them.
No worries, easily enough done. I think that's probably a really good place to end our story, ladies and gentlemen. That brings to the close the Lost Mines of Phandelver. Thank you, gentlemen, for your participation and your characters. Obviously, your characters survived. So in the future, we may see the return of Arcos Park, Who, What, How, Where, Not Doctor, and Youngblood, who are now very rich individuals. 10% owners in the Wave Echo mine, and have permanent friends in Phandelver.
Good stuff.
Cheers, gentlemen. Thank you, chat.
You got to go on a boat trip.
You're going to go
ship.
on a boat. A motherfucking boat. It's a ship, man. It's a ship. But yeah, so we're going to call it there, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and enjoying the story. As I said, we are going to be moving on to another campaign sometime in the next few weeks. Waterdeep Dragon Heist, where you'll see me as the DM. Once again, you will see a Grim coming in and playing another character. We've got Nutty Tart playing a character. We've got Sticks and Stones, who comes in here occasionally. He's playing a character. We've got Neon Reptile, all the way from UK. He's playing a character. And we've got, who else? Who am I missing? Dill Cripple, also playing a character. We've got 5 characters. It should be really interesting. We've got a Rogue. We've got a Paladin. We've got a Warlock. We've got a monk and a druid.
Yeah,
that's right. So interesting race class combinations there. We've got a Kinku in there as well, so that'll be interesting. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do session 0 on the 10th, which will not be streamed. I'm going to do that privately behind the scenes because it's just way easier to get it under the way, and then we will set a date once. I've talked to the chat, talked to everyone, we've got the rules set, we'll set a date, but that will be played every second Friday at 9 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time will be our start times for you guys in the Aussies. Obviously that'll be 7 p.m. AEST. Bear in mind that in April, daylight savings will change that for a time until Australia catches up. I think, are you guys the same, like 2nd of April or something, for daylight savings change?
No, middle of March, isn't it? Isn't it middle of March? End of March?
I might have to double check. I know ours is April.
I think it's about it's about the same time as you guys.
It was to go into it, like when we went into daylight savings, it definitely was. We might have to confirm that closer to the time.
April 2nd.
April 2nd? There you go. So it's the same time, so it won't really affect anything. So that, I mean, obviously times will change. It'll affect you guys in the Aussie and the UK. It won't affect Neon too much. It'll bring him to exactly 12 hours behind instead of 13. So that will be a good thing for him. So instead of getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning, he'll be able to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning and still be all good. So I think Dill's the only one that's really going to affect. But he already knows about it, so we should be good. Keep an eye out in the YouTube, guys. This VOD will go up in the next week or so. And that'll conclude our session. You survived, gentlemen. You survived. I honestly thought one of you might die in that fight. I really did. But
look, with the low rolls I was spitting out then, someone was
looking. I honestly didn't. On my part, I honestly didn't look at Niznar's spells too closely when I put it together, and his spells were shithouse. I would have never run with those spells if
They
I'd
are
looked at it.
in the book. They are shit.
Yeah, well, that's what I ran. Was just the standard spells and
Yeah,
like magic
absolutely
missile,
bollocks.
shield was all good.
Yeah,
But I would have changed the spells out. I would have given him far better spells, far better offensive spells. He had so many defensive and not a lot of offensive. I mean, suggestion was good, but Grimshaw, man, the rolls he saved twice on suggestion because I was going to suggest, if he'd failed those rolls, the suggestion would have been cut Arcos' head off. So...
And that last room when he went into rage and the rolls he got, you know, like
dude,
24, 22, 17,
Yeah.
it's just like obliteration.
Yeah, the thing is, strength is, as a barbarian, the strength's pretty high, and having 2 attacks as well definitely helped out. But again, like the campaign when we started was designed for 4 people, which is why I decided to run the NPC with you guys when Trashy had to dip out. So because with 3, you guys just wouldn't have survived with 3. There's no way. I mean, you guys struggled in a couple of those rooms. Like you did well. I did alter a lot of things. Like Grim will notice, obviously, that in the Forge room, in the book, there's like 8, 9 zombies in that room as well.
Yeah.
If you guys had fought the zombies as well as a flaming skull, you guys would have been screwed. Like you guys wouldn't have made it out of that room.
Also, that ghoul room too.
That was a tough
Jojo
one.
went into. Well, if Grim wasn't there, I reckon one of us would have got wrecked in there.
Oh, 100%. I said if it was just the 3 of us, you would have been absolutely toasted. And like again, that barracks room, it did have like 6 bugbears in it originally. But I thought, well, these guys are going to move around the cave. They're not going to stay static in one room the whole time. I mean, if you're in this cabin for hours, which you were, things are going to move. Like they're not always going to stay static. And that's the one thing I don't like about a lot of the modules is they have a lot of things that have things static in that room.
Just stay there.
So for things like intelligent creatures like bugbears and like dwarves and things like that, I like to have them moving around an area and they're not always going to be in that same room. Different if they're locked in, like the ghouls that you struck, they'd been locked in that room for many years, things like that. You guys did well. You handled the Spectre really well.
Spectre, yeah.
That could have gone way differently. I mean, everything could have gone way differently, but I think you guys did really well. And as a reward, even though we probably don't need to worry about it, level 5, yay!
So what's a spectacle? He got his contract free and he's off living his
he
life.
He would have been freed, and he would have gone away to live his best life as a spectre and grow up to be a beholder.
There we go.
And you never know. He might have grown up to be Xanathar. You just don't know. That might have been baby Xanathar. I doubt it, but he probably ended up working for Xanathar, to be fair.
Yeah. Xanathar's bitch.
But anyway, guys, as I said, that's it for us tonight. We're going to call it there. Again, I'm going to get you guys to reintroduce yourselves and your characters one last time, and we will call it an evening while I figure out who we're going to raid. Start with you, Mr. Grim.
Yeah, my name is Grim Realities, and I played Arcos Puck, aka Rolo Cotton. Not that he ever admitted that to his friends, but that's his actual name.
You probably give him a little bit of your you could probably give him a little bit of your backstory too.
Yeah, so Arcos was pretty much primarily focused on revenge. Touched on it a bit in places, but he sort of had much the same upbringing as Youngblood, sort of like rough and tumble on the streets, sort of well-meaning mischief, stealing from local guards and stuff, sort of making a nuisance of himself, and then signed up to work aboard a ship at the age of 14, became a cabin boy, found out that life is actually pretty fucking hard on the sea, and he just enjoyed the life. And then his his crew was tasked with bringing supplies for a particular group, and that group didn't want anyone to know that what they're up to, so they cut loose ends, which means the crew of my ship
We're
were
dispatched.
by the Black Spider, and Arcos couldn't let sleeping dogs lie, so he had to track the Black Spider down and aid in his demise. So, and now he's done that.
Indeed. And next, Mr. Aircode.
Yeah, I was who, what, how, where, not Doctor Who, not the Doctor. From a comfortable family life, went out to prove to his parents that he could do his own thing under the pressures of his father, and came out the other end in one piece, and I think was quite successful in that.
Indeed. And who was an owlin? For those that don't know what the races of the owl creature, an owlin cleric was our not Doctor Who.
Yes.
He didn't want to be a doctor. That's why he rebelled. He didn't want to be a doctor like his dad wanted him.
Yes, exactly. Still a bit of healing, but not the Doctor.
Yeah. So that was Error Code. You can find Error on YouTube too, guys. So check Error Code out on YouTube. Now that we've finished this up, you may see him on the YouTubes a bit more often, doing things and stuff. And you'll probably see me over there hanging out with him as well. JJ, Mr. JJ Aussie Pug, let's reintroduce you and your character, please, sir.
Youngblood, a Furbolg.
Furbolg,
I think he's
indeed.
just Furbolg. I don't think he's half or nothing like that.
No, full Furbolg, indeed.
Pretty much just went on adventures, and when he was an adventurer and he was in Neverwinter, just trying to survive, a bit like how Grim explained his.
Don't lie, you were a thief.
I was a thief and doing adventures before this one.
You were stealing shit.
He's stealing adventures.
He was a thief.
Yeah, well, they were thieving adventures.
He grew up on the streets thieving adventure. That's how it works.
It's like, oi, it's an adventure. I'll climb through this window and steal this shit.
On the streets.
Definitely.
My parents died at a young age. I found that out at the end of the module, but I didn't know that until now. But I had no parents that left me. Then I found these guys, had my adventure. I found a new family, basically.
Pretty much. So Furbolg Fighter was
fighter.
The class there. So we
Fighter
wrestler. We created a couple of homebrew wrestling moves for him, which was Falling in Reverse, which was a backbreaker, and the Brain Dead, which was a Tombstone Pile Driver. And they were effective. Early on, he used the backbreaker in the campaign, and that was pretty effective as well. But that Brain Dead dude, that was just brutal shit.
I had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah.
I think it ended a couple of people's lives.
Yeah,
that one.
I'm keeping those abilities too. I'm going to stash them in my little file for another time.
Someone else might use it.
Yeah, well, it's like, dude, it's an easy spell to remember too. So it's not something I might redefine them and redo them at a later point and make it a lot easier to use. But definitely a lot of fun. But yeah, so that is our story. Obviously, I'm Evldoa. I was your DM. I've been DMing now for 5 or 6 years. Also made all the maps from tonight. We used which we used in Foundry. Foundry VTT is awesome. I love it. I highly recommend it, and I highly recommend a Dungeon Draft if you want to make digital maps. A lot of great assets to be found for that. And if you want to come back here on Mondays, you can see me doing that stuff. As for what we're doing now, we're going to say goodnight. We are going to raid Moody Gamer UK. And we will be back tomorrow with some Pew Pew Thursday PUBG customs tomorrow night. So if you have the PUBGs on the Steam and you got some time tomorrow evening from around 8:30 New Zealand time, come and hang out with us and join us in the PUBGs and shoot your friends. It's a lot of fun. Even if you're not good at it, doesn't matter. We've got a lot of people that are not good at these games and still have fun shooting each other. It is lots of fun indeed. Friday we might be doing some Sons of the Forest. Maybe I'm running a custom server on that too. So up to 7 other people can join that.
Sorry, is that up all the time, or that's
No,
just
it's just
you're
when I'm playing it. Yeah. I don't think they have server hosting for that yet. Not that I've looked into it.
It
but
probably won't be too far away.
Yeah, I would because if they do put on. I could probably run a dedicated server one because it's still in early access as well, so I don't think they have all that available yet. So they may add the dedicated servers like the First Forest eventually. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot of fun. Even just playing on the custom server with me on, we like Drax and Styx joined the other night, and we had a bit of fun with that running a couple of the caves. And it's definitely it's a good game. Like even for all the little bugs that we've found so far, it's still a really good game. I really enjoy it. So we'll probably look at that on Friday maybe. Saturday no stream, Sunday no stream because I don't really stream on those days anymore unless I decide that I want to. And yeah, so keep an eye on the schedule. Join the Discord if you haven't already. !Discord in the chat. It is what it is. If you want to join, Ari, just join. Like, it doesn't really matter. I said we've only just sort of really started on that custom game, so we're not really, and we can run other people through to get rerun them through to get all the bits and pieces anyway. I don't mind rerunning the caves to re-get the zipline gun and take them to the 3D printer and all that sort of stuff. It's what the game's about, so I'm quite happy to do that sort of thing. So if you want to join, come and join. If you're around and you've got it. There's the Discord, definitely come and join. What have we got here? I've got some other stuff here too. I got no, none of that stuff will work. I didn't put that up. Oh, so I did. There. Socials. Got some social stuff as well. YouTube and the Twitter. Announce when we go live and announce other things on Twitter. YouTube is where we got a whole bunch of other stuff. This VOD will go up. I put a couple of shorts up from the forest today. One of them was rather interesting, where it took me like 13 hours to kill a bloody cannibal. It turned him into a porcupine. It was great. But yeah, so check those out. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't followed here, please do. We're almost at 1,500 followers. We're definitely growing there. Sub if you can. If you can't, don't panic. No drama there either. But we will see you when we see you. Right now, we're going to go say good day to Mr. Moody Gamer. I believe he is playing... What is he playing? He's playing Ark Survival. And he's died 14 times, apparently. So... You subbed in advance, you certainly did, and I appreciate you subbing, Ari. It was awesome. And I appreciate all the subs. You guys are all amazing people for helping support the channel, and will help me get new stuff when it's needed. So we're gonna raid Moody. We're gonna say goodnight, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the Pew Pew Thursday PUBG customs. Ciao for now. Oh, wrong one. How about we try that one?